Headline this, ladies and gentlemen. Our guest here, believe it or not, is on Sportswire Radio for the first time this year in 2025. And boy, is he about to make some history. You're going to see him in places that you never thought somebody from our neck of the woods would go. We're going to talk a lot about that. We're going to talk about the landscape in YBW, that we're bloodthirsty to talk about. But now maybe, just maybe, have the tables finally turned on Dominic. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into the Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational, and now our guest is going to be fighting for something physical. We'll definitely get into that. We'll also talk about what's next and where to, what our guests like to go to, and who knows whatever else. But since he's here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform that he and YBW most certainly helped build here, Sportswire Radio, to the tune of nearly 1,500 subscribers, and not one, not two, but three magical moments, starting off with this man beast, this War Machine Rhino, the last proper ECW world champion, and this guy Savio Vega, who some would say was responsible for the career of Stone Cold Steve Austin, and then this guy Doug Pinnick of the band King's X, who literally 72 hours ago just opened for this little band called Tool. And oh, by the way, this guy Doug Pinnick only played at Woodstock, only opened for AC/DC at their peak, only opened up for Pearl Jam at their peak. And oh, by the way, our interview got mainstream coverage in the heavy metal version of Rolling Stone and blabbermouth.net. I have to give our guest that introduction because you're waiting for it in the chat. He's most certainly waiting for it. And headline this: the farthest traveler in the yard is going to get maybe the farthest introduction my voice can give in Sportswire Radio history. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get to it and kick the week off here in style on Sportswire Radio, the number one global radio station where all wrestling matters. So, with that, further ado here on the Sports Report. Number one, sports show. Oh man, that has traveled to 6 states. 7 years in the backyard in the underground wrestling circuit. 20 different promotions. 17 times a world champion. His name is, simply put, the farthest traveler in underground wrestling history. The headline. My friend, how are we doing?
Good. Hearing that introduction, Tom, is music to my ears. That's why I was doing this. It feels great to be back on Sportswire. Long overdue. First time.
My mother even enjoyed the introduction. I'm surprised she's even up. She actually enjoyed the introduction. She heard Tool. Well, Tool's not coming on tonight. Aaron Blaze is on, Sadly. Mom. But maybe I'll be able to get Tool on. Just wait for Vinny Appice, and we'll see about that. But she liked the introduction. But the rest of the show, who knows? But yeah, sometimes we get it right. She gave me an LOL, but that's all right. But it has been a while. And how you been, first of all? A lot to talk about tonight, good sir.
Yeah, a lot to talk about. A bit bittersweet, feeling a bit down in the dumps, but you got to look at the positives.
You're
You
on
know,
Sports
we
Wire. You
got
can't
a
feel
lot.
too down in the
Yeah,
dumps. Come
yeah,
on.
no,
I
it's
ran
great,
home for you. I ran all the way
and
from
I appreciate
my
that.
mom will appreciate this. I ran all the way from Avenue P and
Oh
East
wow.
Ninth Street back to Staten Island. She'll know exactly how far of a commute that was. That'll make me in New York City the farthest traveler, but I ran all the way home for you. So I mean, I
And
hope you're
I
doing well.
appreciate that you have made my mood 10 times better than it originally was. So it's great to be back here. It's great to be back here. But yeah, we got a lot to talk about, a lot of companies, a lot of matches, a lot of people, because I'm a controversial figure. So, but don't,
Kato's apparently the
we'll
controversial
get into
one.
that.
There's Anthony Steele. You, I mean, I've lost count on who's controversial these
Well,
days.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. Just because you say controversial things doesn't
Yeah,
make you a controversial person. And
yeah,
everyone has a different cup of tea. And some people
sure.
don't even like tea. Some people like coffee as
I
opposed
actually
to
don't
their
really.
choice
I
of a
mean, I
drug.
like iced tea. I don't really like Lipton tea, but I do like
But it's
iced
all
tea.
on perspective at the end of the day, what you take as controversial. So
Duly noted. Duly noted. But no, look, it's good
anything.
to have you back. And my mother did say, "Wow, that was far." Yes, because I traveled. It was I was on East Ninth Street and Avenue P at about 6:30 at night, and then I got to where I needed to be to catch the bus, which I walked, which I beat the bus, and then I got back to Staten Island about 50 minutes ago, and here we
That's
are. So
good.
she knows the commute because we lived on East Ninth Street, but a little further up. But that's a different show for a different time. But Aaron Blaze. I could certainly talk about my destinations in Brooklyn, but nobody wants to hear that except my mother. Even then, she doesn't want to hear that because she left Kings County, and I'm still keeping the flames alive there. But speaking of flames, Aaron Blaze, let's start off here from Friday's show when Chase Wakefield, the
Oh,
Bitcoin
let's go.
billionaire, maybe the
Mhm.
only man who might be worth more than me these days in the underground wrestling circuit, announced that not only you and D'Angelo the Flame is going to happen once again at the Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational, which will promise to be the biggest wrestling super show in our community's history, is now going to have something on the line. And for those that are listening and watching here in prime time on the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the platform you, Aaron Blaze, and YBW most certainly helped build, your reactions to now you're fighting for a medal against D'Angelo LaFlame. Headline this.
Yeah, it's so interesting because I've taken part in a lot of matches. I've been in rumbles, I've been in briefcases, championships, career on the line, all this kind of different stuff from state to state, whatever. But I've
Right,
never fought for a medal.
right.
And when I say that, I don't look down upon it. I think it's a huge honor considering it's being hosted by Chase Wakefield, and there's going to
Yep.
be a lot of big names there, a lot of
Rad
big
Dad's going to
people
be
there, a lot of
there. Yeah,
legends.
yep. Rad,
Can't
Rad,
forget Matt DeMorris, but
Matt DeMorris and Chase Wakefield. I mean, it's a stacked field. I mean, you talk about some of the names in the underground, independent, and backyard wrestling circuit. It's quite a list. Eric Black, who was here a few weeks ago, who's trained from the CZW
bless
dojo.
you.
Bless you. God
Thank
bless
you.
you. The owner of Enterprise Wrestling, now a double champion. I mean, it's a Dan Stovko, who was a minor league baseball player turned wrestling champion. I mean, it's a long list of names. I mean, I could go on all day. So it's a really big event, and you're competing for something now.
Yeah, and the match between Blaze and Flame was already a big moment enough, but to compete for
Absolutely.
a medal, it's going to be a sweet moment, especially for someone that was the inaugural All Wrestling Matters champion. Now I get to add another first ever to my list when I win that medal. And I don't know if I'm going to go around defending it yet. I don't know if I'm going to put it
Yeah,
with.
it's interesting. Chase had talked about either you could have the option to defend it anywhere you want, or just keep it as a memento. I mean, so what would you do, and what do you think? Is there a right or wrong here?
I don't think so. It goes back to what I said earlier about perspective, but to me, championship belts should be defended. Um, Trophies, if we look at what people are doing in WWE with the NXT Heritage Cup,
Yep.
that's defended.
Lexus
But
King. I
I've
mean,
never,
and we had Skrilla
yeah,
on, a man who wrestled him right before he won it. I mean, so absolutely.
yeah. So I don't know if I can feel the same way about a medal. I don't have any of my old like wrestling and baseball trophies and medals and crap like that with me,
Yeah.
but I need to start redecorating my room with a bunch of other stuff.
Well,
Anyhow,
I can tell you
so
that my mother won't appreciate this, but I still kept like my fifth grade mental math B, certificate, and my
dude,
third
that's
grade science.
awesome.
I keep well because I keep everything, and we talked about this a few days ago. My memory is, as she can attest to, is photographic. But
Love
what does
you.
it
Good
mean
night.
to you, though? But what does it mean to you, though, to be a part of the show itself? I mean, this is really historic. I think it's going to really be one of the biggest wrestling super shows ever. And what does that mean to you to be a part of it?
No, absolutely, it means a lot, and I'm completely honored that Chase wants to not only celebrate the biggest moment of his life just in its own realm, but to
Sure.
bring something that he loves just as much as his wife. I hope not more than his wife. Um, it means it also speaks volumes about how much he really loves this, and the
Yeah.
fact that he wants me to play a part in that for a moment that he's going to remember for a long period of his life. I'm even more grateful to Chase as a person as opposed to just
Yeah.
business partners. So it's amazing. And I wrestled in front of crowds and all of that, but I'm the only person who I'm concerned with their opinion that night is Chase.
Yeah. It's a good point. And I agree with you on that. It's really fascinating. And obviously, if you want to follow the Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational, we've been so blessed to be a part of it here on Sports Radio. Please go out there and give a follow on Instagram. And Chase will be back here on Sports Radio, I'm sure, next month. And we'll definitely talk a lot more about it. And you can see all of the matches here, and including Aaron Blaze versus D'Angelo LaFlame. So, I mean,
Yeah.
D'Angelo's obviously not been as active as you these last several months. He's just returned to the ring. As you stated, he was the All Wrestling Matters champion, and he wound up losing that to Soldier GP. So do you feel like going into this? I know we have a lot of time till it takes place at the Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational, but going into it, do you feel that you have an advantage or an upper hand because you've been more active here these last several months, whereas D'Angelo's basically trying to get his flame to burn bright again?
I honestly think because contrary beyond popular belief, I try watching what everyone's doing. Right?
Okay.
So this whole tribalism of some people saying that, oh, you only care about your stuff and you don't care about anyone else's, that's a lie. Let me just make that public now. I watched that whole thing and watched him get attacked after that, but it's clear that Flame has lost his spark. And it's been that way for a couple of months, and I talked to a handful of other people about that ever so often, but I mainly talked about that concept with Delta a time or two because
Yeah.
I look to him for advice about traveling and all of that all the time, and most of the business moves I make correspond with what me and him discuss.
Okay.
And one thing he's always told me is don't burn yourself out right away. Pun
Yeah,
not
he said that
intended.
here. He actually, I remember I asked him about D'Angelo in maybe Jack's last formal appearance on Sportswire months ago, and that was the advice he gave here live: is that D'Angelo has to almost walk a tightrope where he's going to all these places, and he did a lot of great things, but
Yeah.
maybe he, wore himself out or wore himself thin because he was going to so many places, and things can catch up to you.
Right. And I really think it was just to feel the energy around you and not take in energy to further advance who he is. And I
Right.
think that's where me and him think differently because every move I make, whether certain people like it or not, how I go to the ring and then I go back to a trampoline fed and then I go back and forth. I love wrestling at the end of the day. I don't care how it's done. I'll wrestle in the snow and in
Yep.
some cases I have. And
Sure.
when I say snow, I mean
You
actual
have.
sheer
I mean, in
snow, not just a
YBW,
couple.
I've seen it in YBW. We've talked about it before. Yes.
Oh yeah, and I think that's Flame's Achilles heel, and that's where I thrive because I don't need to rely on catering to all of that. It's called working smarter and not working harder. And
Sure.
sometimes those go hand in hand, but Flame hasn't been gone. Granted, I've been losing a handful, but I've still been here and I'm still working towards whatever I decide to work for nowadays because I never stick to one thing.
Right.
So for
You know,
Flames,
he's traveled to Alabama. He traveled to Massachusetts. He
hmm
traveled to Ohio last year at Summer Bash. We saw him here in Iowa just recently, and I know he's getting back to be in the ring in other places as well. And I know D'Angelo is going to come back onto Sportswire, and he'll talk about his side of the story in this match very soon. I've spoken to D'Angelo about that, but have you ever felt at times, because you've obviously are the farthest traveled wrestler in underground history, you've gone to all these different places. You and I have known each other a while. Have you ever felt that, hey, maybe it's not for me to travel as much anymore? I know we spoke before, you've been here a bunch of times, but has that ever crossed your mind even recently and such?
not recently, but there's been a handful of times where it's crossed my mind based on bad experiences, which we're not even going to get into. But
Yep.
for things that have happened to me in that nature, I cock my head sideways and I'm like, is this even worth it? You know what I mean? Like, it's just one of
Yeah.
those things where you're like, okay, well, you're trying to prove a point. You're doing the best you can. You're being as authentic as you can. You're being as real as you can deal out whatever you say and do. So it's just like, man, there's just a lot of people that don't want to see you succeed. And the ironic thing is, Tom, a lot of those people ended up failing, and I'm still here. So clearly, there's a sign from the universe. I don't know. I don't know what it would be, but like,
Huh.
clearly, I am meant to do this, and I'm meant to be in the spot that I am in, and use what I have to bring a new way to the next generation and work with people from the past and everything in between. So I kind of just
Absolutely.
take it with a grain of salt.
For sure, no question about that. And I think that it's obviously a tremendous burden to be able to go out and travel to these places. I know D'Angelo has certainly felt that. We've talked about it here with him. Jack's been here. We spoke about it. We spoke about it with you. Some others that have obviously traveled, whether it's Anthony, whether it's Soldier or Omen or some others that have done the travel. I see Jason Storm is here. He's somebody that's traveled also. So when you have traveled as far as some of you guys have traveled, there's no question that it's a tremendous commitment, and obviously we're excited to see what's going to happen between you and D'Angelo the Flame, and that'll take place here coming up with a Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational, and it's right around the corner. It's a great card. It's got some of the very best wrestlers in backyard, underground, and independent wrestling history, and we're
Absolutely.
excited to be a part of that. I'm excited to talk about that with you and a number of other things here throughout the show, but we'll go back to that later on. But let's talk about, though, a company that you're going to next, that it's finally about to happen here. It's literally now in a matter of days. I remember the last time you were here and everybody was getting ready to talk about Roseburg, Oregon. And there you got the merchandise, you got the shirt, and BTW, you are now definitely born to wrestle. You are certainly born to go to Roseburg, Oregon, in God's country. That is coming up very soon. And what's that going to be like for people to finally? And I see you're putting the shirt on there. That's a great
hmm
segue. Unlike Dominic, when we had him on famously, didn't
Yep.
have his own shirt, but we'll leave Dominic for a little while. But now that we're going to get a chance to see you there, we're very close to that start date of the season. I mean, how excited are you for people to watch what you're about to do here in BTW?
I'm very excited because I've always wanted to, every time I do traveling, and this goes into why I do and don't do business with certain people, I don't
Mhm.
like showing up for just one day and that's it for one match because I feel like
Sure.
I want everyone to see me at this place and this place and this place and this place and this place. I want to get content out for everybody, not just myself. And another reason is so that I have more to reflect on and more to study of myself because I'm my toughest critic. I have never done a year's worth of content before in my whole 7 years of the yard. Never before done that, but I did that at BTW, and I'm excited for everyone to see it. There was a lot of realism, there was a lot of story, there was a lot of dream matches, a lot of spot monkey moments. And when you see a certain match, you'll know what I mean.
Okay.
Not me foreshadowing the future and being the prophet or
Well, we'll
anything.
find out when it comes out in a few weeks. And I know we'll talk about it on Sportswire when it comes out. But
But
it's
no, it was
exciting to see you to finally be there. And I guess I could ask you, how did you like the experience going down there to Roseburg, Oregon? What was that like? I would imagine this was the first time you've been to Oregon, I would imagine.
yep, yep. So I make it to the airport and I'm at baggage claim. I get my stuff, and then for shoot skis, Ryan, I almost called him Bam, Jesus. BES, um, and then two other people who I shall not mention because
Okay.
of some things
Mhm.
came to pick me up,
Okay.
and um, God love Ryan, that poor kid. He was like sick,
Oh
like
my god.
motion sick, like car sick. He gets car sick easily. So the entire time we're in the car, we're talking about music that we're playing. We're talking about matches that we're gonna do. We're talking about training, blah 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 blah. And the most of the time was like, yeah, can we please go to a Unimart and get this guy something for his stomach because I'm not gonna let him suffer in the car. I made it my whole mission to be like, okay, let me get him some Pepto Bismol or some Tums, and I spent like
Wow.
fucking $40 to get him medicine because
Damn.
it was like concerning me. They also got into a car wreck on the way to get me, which was kind of crazy. Like it's
Wow.
10, like 20 minutes away. Like they were about to get me, and then some
Oh my
fucker wasn't
god.
paying attention. And then we also got pulled over um because of who was, I'm not gonna out who was driving the car, but you can put your own predictions together. Yeah, he was speeding, and it was the first time ever that I got pulled over driving with anybody. So
Oh
that was
wow.
an experience and a half. But everything was fine, everything was fun. And then we had a lot of good hangouts, and then there was a questionable night, and I'm gonna leave it there because I don't
Okay.
believe in airing out business. But
No, no, that's fine.
my yeah,
I'm
my
here to
and my
talk about
attitude,
wrestling. Yeah, I'm here to talk
yeah,
about
and my
wrestling.
attitude was literally like to Ryan. I'm like, dude, why didn't you wake me up? Like, I don't care whatever happened that night. Fucking wake me up. We got shit to do. So I gave him a pass to wake me up, and I hate when people wake me up. So that's how you know I'm serious about it. But
Right,
no,
right,
it
right.
was it was fun. The flight to and back was good. I hated being stuck in Vegas because I'm still not old enough to do jack shit in Vegas. So I'm just
Oh
sitting
wow.
there for like 2, 3 hours. That was the only thing I really hated about the trip. But no, it was fun. Um, Swift's like super, super tall. Like,
Yes,
holy
Swift. I mean,
shit.
we
Like,
had him here,
dude,
for the ceremony when we inducted him in the Hall of Fame, and he's just naturally big. I mean, I know natural
dude, he's
selection, so
like,
he's just
he's like
naturally big.
Thor's distant cousin, dude. Like, I was about to ask him, where's the hammer? Never mind, he just drops it on me when we have her match. But like, no, it was good. I enjoyed sharing the ring with Ryan because that was like a whole full circle. This is some freaking what's the what's the show I'm thinking of where they travel into like a different dimension and shit? I can't think of it off the top of my head. I'm pretty sure someone in the
Quantum
comments will
leap,
think of it.
quantum leap,
Yeah, Quantum Leap. Fucking Quantum
quantum
Leap.
leap, quantum leap.
Yeah, it was like Quantum Leap. But yeah, it was just insane.
You're lucky I
Like,
knew that because I
bet
did
so
try out
far
for
it's my favorite
who I
trip
I was in the
of the
tryout for
year,
Who Wants to Be a
and it's
Millionaire
my
years ago, but
longest distance trip of the year.
so let me ask you though this question,
Having
and
trouble
you talk.
connecting. Oh,
You hear me now?
crashing on Sportswire, ladies and
Uh-oh.
gentlemen. Hold
Uh-oh.
on.
Well, we'll take this off the screen and see if we can come back.
What is
So
going
Aaron, we're
on?
hopefully headline this. Aaron Blaze comes back onto Sports Tour Radio. Are you there? Do you hear me?
Where is he?
I'm right here. Hi. Do you hear me?
Where is he?
I'm right here. Hello, Aaron. Aaron. Headline. I'm right here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Aaron Blaze is having technical difficulties here. This is not good.
Where's he at?
I'm right here, Aaron.
What happened here?
Um, uh, yes, we are here. Yes, I am here. I am on live, and we're all here in the chat.
That's
I just
crazy. And we're live.
I just messaged you. Well, I'll buy some time for you, but hopefully, Mr.
I
Blaze
can't
reconnect.
see you. Okay.
He can't see me, so
Technical difficulties, everyone. Sorry about that.
I'm gonna say for
Oh,
those that
there
are
you
here,
are. There
yeah,
you are.
I'm right here. Yeah, there
Can
you
you hear
go.
me? Yeah, you
I
were
hear you.
loading on my screen.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, I'm glad you're alive. I'm glad you're alive and well. But that's good. So I wanted to ask you though something. You said something interesting in that you filmed a year's worth of content. Now I know you've been to a lot of different places, ROEW,
Mhm.
certainly your own company, some other places, but how difficult is that to be able to do that when you haven't done something like that before? Is there a training or is there a conditioning that you have to have in order to be able to get all of that in? What's that like? I'm curious for the audience because there's probably a lot of people that would like to know, is there anything that you prepare for in order to be able to physically compete in that type of action, more or less?
Well, the first day was extreme training for the people that were there, and then we kind of had a bit of training for each day, unless something major occurred. But it was just okay. Let's alternate. Um, because this is the way I operate, I was just like, hey, if you need me to wrestle multiple matches in a row, I'll do it. Just because I want to make sure we get things done. Excuse me. The only thing that sucked about it was because of like how Ryan's yard is constructed, the ring kept slanting and we had to fix it. And they also sent them when they got the ring, they were also given an 18-foot canvas for a 16
Oh,
by 16-foot ring, so it kept sliding.
oh wow.
Um yeah. And just a couple of crappy variables that we work with what we got, and I'm all for that. And that's how YBW became a thing. Work with what you got.
Yeah.
That's how I was raised. Work with what
Like
you got.
listen, like anything else. Listen, you got to make the best of
Yeah,
whatever
you
is
got to
in front
make
of you.
do. You got to
Yeah.
make do with what will do, dude. So, so yeah, I'm just like, okay, let's get the running shoes on. Let's get the tape up. Let's put the knee pads on. Like, let's get to fucking work. And we got to work. So
Still a lot though to be able to do all of that in the limited time that you're there. I mean, because again,
yeah,
you've been to different places. Maybe you wrestle one or two matches. I don't know. I'm not here to necessarily ask in terms of how it's done or how the sausage is made. More or less is a term they use in New York politics to get legislation done. It's a very technical term, but was there anything physical that any training for that and such? Do you have to like wrestling wise or conditioning? 'Cause it sounds like it's a lot of conditioning. Also, it's a weather change, I would imagine, as well. You're going from a different environment from what you're normally accustomed to, and also wrestling outside. So I thought that was, kind of interesting for the audience, just from a technical standpoint. I know we'll all watch it in a few weeks, but was there
right.
anything you had to do physically and mentally to adjust to all of that and such?
Me, the only things I had to do before going out there, because I knew I wasn't going to be able to do it while I was there,
Mhm.
was get a couple YBW shows edited
Okay.
and um, do a bit of cardio.
Hmm.
But that's really all my conditioning is, because with how weather can be here at PA during this time of year, and with my crazy work schedule, I don't have
Yeah,
the time to go to the gym, so I kind of just gotta once again make do here.
sure.
Um, yeah, other than that, there was no massive preparation other than making sure my elbow pads would arrive on time before I would have to go to my flight. Because I rush ordered them and they were like $50 to get them rush ordered to my house. And if
Sure.
they didn't make it, I would have been so pissed. So,
But overall, you enjoyed the experience, and I
yeah,
think the viewers here, and obviously the viewers of BTW and certainly the underground and backyard wrestling community, I'm sure will really enjoy what's ahead here coming up. I would imagine.
absolutely. Because at the end of the day, it's about the fans. It's about what they want to see. It's about what they, in some cases, want to hear. So I have no gripes in regards to that. Granted, there's a situation that happened after the fact, because go figure, wait until I leave. But I take it with a grain of salt. I'm not meant to be everybody's friend. I'm not meant to please everybody. And it must be nice talking behind my back. Because,
Sure.
yeah, I take it with a grain of salt, Tom, because at the end of the day, you and I have talked about this, and I'm just going to get this out in the open now while it's
Yeah.
on my
Sure.
mind. Um, it's funny to me how people that are older than me want to act like children over a situation they don't know the full story of.
Sure.
And just saying, if you drag me through the mud. And if you want to put dirt on my name when you can't even clean up your own act, in addition to you choosing to follow every move I make, you're a fan of me and you're jealous at the end of the day. And if you actually want to have a conversation, if it bothers you that much, then I'm down for a conversation. Because I'm tired of just blurring out names and starting a bunch of drama and all this other controversial shit. Because, Tom, it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to the fans. It doesn't matter to you. People want to see wrestling. They want to see good stories. They
Yeah.
want to see us all help each other and support one another. So I don't care about creating a bunch of bullshit because you can't live in reality of something that, once again, I didn't even really do. But
Mm.
at the end of the day, Tom, I'll let I'll let the sheep out of the pen. I've always been the shepherd to guide people to the truth, so that's fine. I'll wave my magic stick and make everything okay. And
Okay.
I'll give these people wrestling instead of running my mouth, sneak dissing, and wasting their time.
All right. Well, let me ask you though a wrestling related question. So
Yeah,
we'll keep it to that. So your experience in BTW. Now, again, I know we're going to talk about this here in a few weeks in April. We'll all watch it. No doubt that you'll be back for it. I know RJS will probably be here in some form, or RTG will definitely be here. I know Comatose will be here. Steven Storm, a bunch of the different people in BTW, and we're all excited to see what you guys do. And congratulations to everybody to have the opportunity to wrestle in a ring. But how
yeah.
does BTW compare to some other places that you've been to with in terms of just the wrestling experience? How did the experience in BTW maybe compare to some other places you've been to?
I look at every single experience I've ever had in the yard, in the underground, whatever you want to call it, in the community,
Hmm.
to where I always try to outdo myself at the end of the day, whether it's
Hmm.
the number of views, number of subs, number of people, whatever the case may be, number of years, whatever. And I even remember vlogging about this.
Yep.
And the footage hasn't aired yet because I don't want to just leak stuff without Ryan's permission. Um, it made me decide that I not only could hang in the big leagues, despite a lot of people saying I couldn't, but I was born to do this, and that everything I've ever experienced in any negative connotation with friends, family, peers, whatever, that it's worth it at the end of the day for the legacy that I want to leave behind, whatever that means.
No, I
And
think that
not,
is important.
yeah,
I think it's to have a legacy. I do think that you should. I think that everybody should. We're all doing this in some form. We've all had some form of success. I mean, somebody asked me in my home community, it was, what would your legacy be? And I said, well, I think my work in the community, I think helping people, I think, Sportswire Radio certainly. And I think for you and all the wrestlers that are here, I'm sure your legacy would be what you've done in the ring and the people that you've represented, the companies that you've wrestled in, where you want to speak of and have had success, and some of the more memorable matches. So I think that
yeah,
it is natural. Word natural comes up quite a bit here on this platform. It is natural to want to have a legacy and be remembered for that.
absolutely, absolutely. Because, like, I don't know if I've stated it publicly on Sportswire or not, but being normal is boring. It's so fucking, dude, it's
Well,
part of
there's
my
an old
language, but it's
expression.
so
I don't know
fucking
what
boring.
normal is. I think that normal is
Well, normal. Here's my version of normal.
okay.
Normal is you go to school,
Okay.
you listen to all the bullshit they feed you, you surround yourself with fake people that don't even have your best interests, that you're probably never going to speak to, that don't influence how much you make or what you decide to make of yourself.
Right.
And then you go to a school and you get in debt and you have all these other stupid problems that aren't even fucking needed. And you, in the mix of it, you probably join clubs or join a sport and you surround yourself
Right.
with even more stupid people and freaking douchebags. And I'm speaking from either experience or having friends that have taken this path, and they're miserable and they don't know what to make of themselves and they don't know what to make of the world around them. And I'm so glad that I didn't add more unnecessary stress to myself and I chose to stay true to myself and my dreams.
Good. No, you should listen. You should do what you want to do, and whatever that is that makes you happy. And I would say that to anybody that whether it's a
Yeah,
wrestler, we get college athletes that come on here. Doug Pinnick said that of King's X. I mean, a guy that played in Woodstock and played with some of the biggest bands, and that was Doug's advice. So you should do whatever you want, even if it doesn't mean you make the most money or sell
yeah,
the most records or win the most matches. So that's exciting. So BTW is coming out very soon. You look good in the BTW shirt. I'm excited to talk
yes, sir.
BTW very soon. And I mean, so before I get to YBW, there's a lot of people here in the chat that want to talk with you. I mean,
Oh,
is
like
there any goals that you have for 2025? Man, I know BTW. I got that. We're going to talk about BTW. You're going to be back here next month. We're going to get some of the guys here. I know YBW. We're going to talk about Golden Guns. We're going to get into that. But this is your first time here. As crazy as this sounds formally in the calendar year, we spoke a lot already so far in the first half an hour. But what are your goals this year in 2025?
here we go. Let's do it. Let's do it. Um, should I switch shirts for this one? I don't know if I should.
It's your
Actually,
spot,
we're
man.
committing. We're committing to the shirt gimmick.
All right.
We're committing to the shirt gimmick. Let's talk ROEW.
Let's talk. We took RWW all the time here
We
on
go
Sports
with
Bar.
the
Let's do it.
new Hulk Hogan shirt. Yep.
There
Yes,
you
I've
go.
done this plenty times
That's a
before.
good segue. ROEW. We spoke a lot about last night on the show, and you were in ROEW. You had a match that a lot of people were very excited about. It was a fantastic match. It was one of the best matches of last year, and you certainly had a great run there in ROEW. And it ended last we spoke with C Money, who's now Cash Carter, and you also had a match with Jacob Collins. You had a memorable segment also with CJ Black, the good guy. And so what is your future in ROEW? You haven't been there in a while, and what is next for you in ROEW?
So, if I could wave my finger and immediately show back up to Michigan, I would. But there's a lot that ROEW is planning,
Mhm.
and that recalls me to just continue taking an unwanted hiatus from a company that I love and care for the opportunity and the experience. And as much as it sucks, I understand it. It's not easy. Let's just say it's not easy shifting the paradigm of the company in a
Mhm.
way. And I'll leave that there.
Okay.
Um, what's next for Aaron Blaze in ROEW? Well, clearly a rematch. Well, technically a first time ever match, considering he's going through a bit of an identity crisis. Uh, I want to cash in all my chips to leave Cash Carter or C Money bankrupt of the Prestige Championship. I would love to do that. I would love to put some REW gold or silver around my waist. I would like to work Dark Kron because I have a lot of respect for Kron, and before he sends us off with his career and he takes the next steps of his life,
He's here Friday night. He'll
I would
certainly
like
talk to you
to
more about that.
step in
Yep.
the ring with that man
Mhm.
and just see how our styles match up. Um, Collins, I would love to run it back with Collins. CJ Black, a guy who I quote said, I would just love to smack him in his face. Um, that feeling hasn't changed, by the way,
I was
but
gonna
it's
say
less
though, but he's
hateful.
he's really a
But
good
it's
guy
less
now,
it,
though.
but it's less hateful. It's less
I
hateful.
see. Okay.
It's
All
less
right.
hateful.
All right. I'll give you that.
Um, yeah, it's just I feel like in the cloud of ROEW, there's just a lot waving over my head of what can I do? What
But where
should
do
I
you fit?
do?
How do you fit in? Where and how do you fit into this landscape? Natural
Right.
selection has taken over, and they hold all the gold.
I'm glad
Darkron's
you said
return.
that. I'm glad you said that
Okay.
because, and I quote the RVW champion himself, Jason Storm. He said, if I were to, I should wise up and join natural selection. And honestly, it's something I've considered a bit of thought of, but I'm kind of choosing who I do business with wisely.
Hmm.
And unless adjustments were, I don't even want to say that, but because I know no matter what, I'm gonna have a target on my back. But hey, I'm Aaron Blaze. Everyone always wants to stick a Quill and Arrow
That wouldn't be your
in the mind.
career. I mean, that wouldn't be,
Oh
your last
yeah,
7
yeah.
years.
It wouldn't be me if I didn't have everyone gunning for me in some shape or form. But I'll say this: whatever happens in ROEW happens. But at the end of the tunnel, I'm walking out with gold or silver. I plan on becoming champion this year.
Interesting because again, it's a entirely different landscape. You went there to wrestle Jack Delta. Jack Delta is obviously on the shelf, and we'll certainly leave it to him and what his future is in the wrestling ring. I'm gonna leave that at that. He was here in the chat yesterday, and I'm sure he'll decide if it ever he'll want to come back in the ring. Natural selection has been naturally dominant in ROEW, and they've
Yeah,
been dominating all of underground wrestling history. So you're kind of at a crossroads. Should you go back there in ROEW?
yeah, because it's just.
And I think Mr. Blaze froze.
Oh wait, did
Here
I
you go.
glitch out there?
You
Okay.
did glitch. Yeah, you're glitched. There you go. Okay. Here you go.
Jesus, people don't want to hear me talk. Oh well, we're still pressing through.
I want to hear
Um,
you. Go ahead. What do you got? Let's go. We're live.
yeah. Technically, counting Holden Holloway, if I go one way, I'm gonna have four people to worry about.
Hmm.
But if I go the other way, it's just a lot of moving parts in the kitchen. But either way, I'm gonna cook, and I'm gonna cook for the fans, and I'm gonna do some cooking for me, and I'm gonna be eating well at the end of the day and do what I gotta do.
Obviously, we'll certainly see what happens with you in ROEW. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally where all wrestling matters. If you're here on Sportswire Radio, hit the sub button for us. Hit the sub button for ROEW. We're very excited for Golden Glory that'll be out this weekend. We'll see a slew of your favorites.
This weekend, man.
Natural Selection will be defending all of their championships. And also, I'll be here tomorrow night with renowned pro wrestling star Raina Black. Raina Black will have plenty to say. She's been a well-known figure in the Pennsylvania independent wrestling circuit. She's also a
Interesting.
part of Raina Black, not related to CJ Black, but she's actually Eric Black's wife, and
Well, that's awesome.
Eric Black is a very well-known figure, and especially anything you know about the CZW dojo and ECW's Jason Knight, and it's a long history he's had. But she'll be here tomorrow night, and we'll talk with her about what's next with her. But in the meantime, we're here with the headline Aaron Blaze. Okay, so ROEW, you obviously have an eye on, you have a vested interest in that, but is there anywhere else or anything that you see in your future for goals? I mean, ROEW is a good one. I know we'll see BTW return. I'm going to get to YBW after we get through the chat, but I mean, is there anywhere else that sparks your interest at all here for this year?
Let me put it this way, and this is where I end up speaking things into existence because we all know how that did last year when I talked ROEW and then I showed up. Yeah, let's talk about how I'm the real prophet. Sorry, let me get comfortable because I'm
Yeah,
laying
you can
down.
have 3 shirts on you. I mean, I appreciate the promotion for these companies, and I'm sure
Dude, I'm
they all
committed.
do.
I'm committed. It's for the community. It's for entertainment. I'm all for it.
No, you know me. Listen. I'm all wrestling matters, but 3 shirts is a lot. I mean, it's actually a lot. So I would say get comfortable here.
You should have seen how the last YBW taping went. Oh my god, it sucked
Well,
because the weather sucked, but we had to do what we had to do.
I knocked on doors for 6 hours 2 weeks ago for my employer, so I understand uncomfortableness. But hey, we're not here about that. So I mean,
Yeah.
ROEW, BTW. I know we're going to definitely see you in BTW. ROEW sounds like the door is open. We know we're going to talk about YBW here in a little while, but is there anything else that sparks your interest or anything you're looking to?
I didn't think about the number.
Well, 20, right? We're looking for 21, right? Company number 21, right? Because your company 20 is already in the bag. So
Technically, I'll say this. Technically, I've already done things for 21 companies,
okay.
and you'll see that unfold.
Okay.
So, but we're not going to count it yet because it hasn't happened. So, let's talk 21
All right.
because a handful of people have been
You turn
saying,
21 next year also.
yeah, it's funny. It's hilarious. I I love it. That should be my new gimmick for every every age. I have to add a company. But no. On a serious note, It's in the books, and it's happening next weekend. The travel plans are already booked, and how do I say this without spoiling? I'm
Yeah,
not going to
don't spoil
spoil. I
anything here.
never
None of this
spoil.
stuff. Not after having Doug
I never
Finick with Team Jack
spoil.
here. You know,
I never spoil. I never spoil. I break out.
okay,
But
I got you.
in addition to that, I find it funny how recently there was something that happened, and there was a blaze that
Ah, yes.
did something
Yes, he
that
did.
broke the forbidden door.
Hmm.
I'm just gonna say this:
Yes.
there's only one blaze that shatters forbidden doors,
Mm. So that
and
Blaze, right? That I
I'll
know who
leave
you're
it
talking
there.
about.
I'll leave it there because I took a little bit of offense when someone or X amount of people quoted that. But if you thought BTW shocked the world, then you have no idea what's about to happen. You have
Well, you
no
mentioned
idea. And I'm
Blaze. All
excited.
right. So we'll say stay tuned. You did mention a Blaze, and you mentioned a
There's
Blaze
that.
going. Mhm.
And there's only one number one guy in all of PA.
Okay.
There's only one number one. There's only one true kingpin. This guy.
Ah.
So there's some things that are still in the works. There's some things that are confirmed because I go to the places that matter the most, that will get the most eyes because I'm that guy. But give me 1 second. I got to do the water
Ah.
gimmick.
It's okay.
I stay hydrated. I'm really excited because for the people that have made so many claims that I'm a minnow that's been thriving in small ponds or whatever they were saying, and they've been walking that line of their so-called legendary path. It's gonna be really funny when I set it all ablaze. And I'm a shark. I am a shark. There's no doubt about it. And I'm going to shock everyone again, because if you thought BTW was one thing, everything I do moving forward is going to consist of the three M's that matter the most in this community, and that is making more moments. You're welcome.
Well, you know what? We'll definitely look forward to that, and we're excited to see you at the very least in BTW. And I'll let
Hmm.
obviously the public find out when you're going to be in other places. But there will be another company, though. Basically, just to confirm that, right? Can you confirm
I
that there
can
will be?
confirm that within, depending on how their upload and editing schedule works, I can confirm that either in the mix of my BTW debut or right before it,
Okay.
you will see Aaron Blaze in his 21st company, and mathematically, it will be the most viewed, it will be the most subscribed, and it will be the most known, and it will be, along with my promotion, it will break out the most. And no, I'm not talking about cornball going to freaking Texas to be a student, because that's stupid of me. Sorry, just being honest. Yeah, yeah, yeet, and all the other stupid shit he says on his Instagram story about me. Um, that's the bitter part of me.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day,
Yeah, let it go. I mean, look, obviously,
yeah,
I know who you're talking about, but
it's
look,
funny. It's funny.
I
But
hear you.
again, it's just a crack for the fans. At the end of the day, I
Yep,
don't really sweat it.
sure.
Just stay tuned. Just stay tuned when I break
Well,
the
let me
rules
ask you. All right, let
again.
me ask you one more question. And I'm not going to
Yeah.
get into who I'm pretty sure I know you're talking about going to Texas. It's been a big talk of on social media. I'm going to leave that at that. But is there ever a period or a number of companies that you want to cap in your career? Is it, hey, I get to 24, I get to 25, I get to 26, or I even get to 21, this one that you're going to, or maybe one more after? Is there ever a number of companies that you say, hey, I would like to cap it at that, or I keep going? I'm
When
just
you say
curious on
cap
that.
it, do you mean for that year alone or do you mean altogether?
Well, in your career, right? So we're going to see
Oh,
you
my
coming up
career.
in your 21st company, right? So would there be a point where you go and say, "Hey, all right, I want to go to a 22nd company. I want to go to a 23rd or 24th, whatever that company might be. It could be, NEW, it could be IMF, it could be, any company that's out there. It could be even BYCW. It could be companies like
I've been to
BCW,
BYCW.
BC, right? I meant like
It's
throwing it
okay.
out there.
No, no, I get what you're saying. And
ECW Pro. It could be you name a company out there. AWL's back. I mean, you throw companies out there. TF Crew, whatever it is. You throw a company that's out there. Is there a number that you want to cap at? Is there a number that you just want to keep going? I don't know what your thoughts are on that. I was just curious because
yeah.
it's kind of interesting.
So the number I'd cap it out, because I look at what people allegedly do when they count companies, and my definition of counting companies while we're on that topic is I count stuff where there's existing footage and I've actually wrestled for them in some capacity. I don't count helping them with editing. I don't count being their general manager. I don't count being a special guest referee or any of the stupid stuff because at that point, almost everybody can say that they've been a part of everyone else's company. So I don't count that.
Mhm.
Um, I count actually telling a story and being involved with their product. So and I don't remember Delta's list. I don't know if I've surpassed him yet. I think if not, I'm getting close. And
And there's
there's
obviously
another.
companies that he hasn't gone to. I mean, there are,
Right, right.
companies. Right.
Yeah, yeah. And then the a person who I shall not name allegedly counts 27. Good for him.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
gonna cut the core. I plan on cutting the cord at 30
Okay.
because that would be the most out of everybody. And if more stuff occurs, then so be it. But more than likely, 30 would be where I'd stop with traveling in that aspect.
No, I think it's interesting because again, there's a lot of different companies out there. There's even companies that are international. You have Wrestling Zero. There are certainly companies you haven't been to yet. IMF and I mentioned BCW Pro, which is in your state, as another example of
Yeah.
a company similar to YBW. There's TF Crew. There's NEW. There's just a whole list of other companies out there that you have not been to. And I was just curious if there was a point that you cap out at a number and or would you just say, you know what, I've done this much and I think this is all I can accomplish? I don't know. I mean, there are some people that just keep going, and and famously, there's a baseball player, Ricky Henderson, who played till he played so long that actually after his last stint in the major leagues, he kept playing independent ball for like 3 more years. So I mean, do you keep going even if you're at 30 companies and you stop? Do you just I mean, I'm just curious because you've already, again, you're in it 7 years and you're going to have your 21st company, you've told us, and we'll find out when that'll be. You have BTW in the bag, but is there just, again, a moment of stoppage? There are companies, like I said, there are a lot of companies out there still that you haven't been to. And I'm sure people, the fans of those companies might want to see you there, or they might want to be able to see if they would, maybe see you wrestle and anybody there, or whatever it might be. I don't know what, and that's whatever you decide. It's completely up to you, and whatever you want to do is should be up to you and no one else. So I just thought it was curious to ask you that question, more or less.
Yeah, well, that's another thing with in the realm of traveling to all these places, you want to accomplish X amount of whatever you want to accomplish.
Sure.
And unless something major would happen, I wouldn't call it quits with the company. There's only two ways I wouldn't continue going somewhere is if they discontinued and if something major happened along those lines, or if I still had unfinished business still residing in that company.
Okay.
Um, and until I would accomplish what I would wish to accomplish, I wouldn't be done showing up there. And some people can take that however they want to take it, but I kind of have a list of the things I want to do before I think about being done because I'm only 20 years old. I've been doing this since I was 12, 13 years old.
Yeah. 7 years,
So
13 at least. So that's, obviously you'll figure out what's best for
lengthy.
you, and whether
Yeah.
it's a company after number 21. We'll have to find out. And certainly, there's a lot of great companies out there that I think that I would certainly, as a fan, like to see you. And I would definitely like to see you one day in some of the companies I mentioned. And that's up to you in those companies. Certainly, companies like IMF, certainly companies like TF Crew, NEW, certainly companies again, BTW, BCW Pro, certainly CSW, even, is a company that comes on here. Wrestling Zero for the international audience, FBW. So there's a lot of great companies, LBYW. So I just, gave you a list of different companies out there that I'm sure that people would maybe potentially want to see you in from the fans of those companies. But until then, if you want to get in touch with Aaron, you can give him a follow. There's a lot of people here in the chat, so let me get to them because they've been
Let's
waiting
go. The
patiently.
comments.
I want to be able
I
to
love the
get to
comments.
them, so we're gonna get that here. Let me take this off the screen. Let me put you on the big screen. There you go. Give Aaron a follow, and I'll fix
Much
my mouse.
appreciated.
Yep, definitely give him a follow on Instagram. So there we go. Can I start from the bottom? Yeah, a lot of comments here.
Oh,
A
Jesus,
lot
of
of
course.
a lot of comments. I have
Any of
to.
them bad, or you're just scrolling through how many there are?
You know what? I always go from the top, so I'm sure you have different comments. I'll leave that at that. Zilla is the first one. She wanted
That's
to say
basically
hello.
you saying I played the fifth Tom, just saying.
I'm trying. You know what? Like I said, and I say this to everybody that comes on here. When you get Rhino on here, Savio Vega, you get Doug Pinnick of King's X. I don't want to say he's a friend, but I'll say it. Vinny Appice of Black Sabbath, who replaced the legendary Bill Ward, who's going to come on the platform, is somebody I speak with regularly. We have Randy Jackson of Zebra, who's supposed to be like the American version of Led Zeppelin. Didn't quite work out. They had an album produced. We'll talk about it when Randy's here. But obviously, we want to be able to give everybody an opportunity, and we know that with those people watch, we want to give everybody a fair shake. BTW is in the house. I guess this is
Yes, sir.
RTJ. He wants to say hello. My good buddy, Mr. Texas Red, Mr. Rocky himself from TPW. He liked the stream. Thank you, Rocky, for your support. And I know
Thanks.
we're going to have some coverage of TPW this week. And I just had a bunch of it recently because Remy Roberts was
That's
here,
good.
Chris Cowabunga. Yep, I am really all wrestling matters. They have promo wrestling on here. We get all types of wrestling on here. And we get the Rios and the Savio Vegas. And also guys like the Alpha Zoe, who wrestled Alex Shelley and beat him right before he went to WWE. So we
Wow.
appreciate everybody for their support. And tomorrow is also Lorena Black. Chase Wakefield was here, and I'm sure he'll be back. He did say hello. Alex Cross, who has been very impressive right now, wanted to say 1/3 of the greatest faction in BYW has arrived, and Natural Selection will be getting their day on
I
Sports
guess
Radio
they
very
are disregarding Holden Holloway's existence.
well. We don't know about Holden Holloway, what his future is, so that's a question that I'll leave that to the group. But
I'm just
it
saying.
seems like right now the core of it's been Storm, Cross, and
And
Carter, and
Carter.
they've been dominant. We're going to get to Dominic in a little while. He said he will not be getting his eighth, so we'll certainly come back to that. The YBW World Heavyweight Champion is in the chat. Yep, he is in the
Oh,
chat.
how many times do you need to cheat for that to be
Well,
the
I'll
case?
get to him. We're going to get to him later. I have a lot of people in the chat. My mother was here, but knowing my mother, she went to bed because she was up at like 4 in the morning. She probably wouldn't
Oh,
like me
God bless
saying
her.
that. That's okay. She was up, but she was here. I'm surprised she even showed up this late. She's usually here like like tomorrow with Raina Black. She'll be there for that one. This one was late, but she liked the intro. Fans have been asking for another hair versus hair match. How about we shave that horrible haircut off your head, Blazy? RTG seems not to like
Blase.
your
This
well,
is
Blase.
smooth. I don't know what
He
you're
doesn't like
talking
your
about.
hair,
This
I
is,
guess.
bro, this is good. This is better than me looking like a whole ass chia pet. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, we know that didn't work out so well for RJS in the past. I think my mother wants Tool to come back to come on Sportswire, but stay tuned. Let me get Vinny Appice first. Yeah, she wanted you to cheer up, and she enjoyed it. Judas is here, by the way. He says, get this guy off my screen." So what's going on here? What's with this comment?
He's a fan. And when I say that, he's not one of the people that would talk behind my back type of fan. He's one of the people that actually has talent kind of fan. I
He's
will
the
give
Blizzard
I
champion, obviously ALW champion as well. So
yeah, I will give Judas some credit
mhm.
because yeah, he's been Blizzard champion for God knows how long. But if it were me versus Judas, the Blizzard champion would be melting
Well,
up in
that's a
set
question I think
ablaze,
people might
set
want to see. I
ablaze.
mean, he's certainly a guy that people might want to see you wrestle. Judas is certainly a name. I know you're wrestling D'Angelo later this year. I know we'll certainly, I'm sure, see you with some guys in BTW, but there's a lot of names that people would like to see you wrestle, and Judas is definitely one of them. Yes, hello to Natural Selection. Yep, we say hello to them. Also, she wants to say hello to Judas. She is a fan of Judas. I don't know what the Cray reference was, but thank you for that, Mom. It's Aaron Blaze from Cash Carter. OMG. You want to say anything?
I was expecting, yep, and it's followed by that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I kind of was gonna say something nice
And
until,
Zilla says hi to Dominic. My
of
mother
course she
said, let's
does.
get
Of course
ready
she
to
does.
rumble, but I think she went to bed. She went to bed, so that's okay. But we'll have plenty of that. I do want to wish a happy birthday to Dakota Riley. Dakota's
Happy
birthday is
birthday.
today. Happy birthday. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for all the great things you do in the IMF. I appreciate all of your support. And if you're here, give a follow to her YouTube channel. She's got 500 plus subscribers. She's definitely working her way up to the numbers. I would give her all my subs here on Sportswire, but apparently it doesn't work out that way. But do me
I
a
wish there
favor.
was a way you could give subs. That would be so cool.
You know what? I have been saying it all the time here on Sportswire Radio, but certainly in the meantime, give her a sub. We appreciate her support. And your brethren in the Golden Guns, we're going to definitely talk about that in a little while. Magnum Carter is here. Kyle Shelby says 4-4 life. You and
Yes,
Kyle
sir.
Shelby a thing? You would, I guess that's a thing, right? To keep an eye on.
No, I wouldn't say a thing, but I did have a wonderful conversation with him. Nice guy, very
Okay.
respectful, and I have a lot of faith in Shelby, and I hope that's
Yeah, he's
reciprocated,
working
and I
hard
can't
in
wait to share the ring
ROEW.
with him. Yeah.
He's definitely in ROEW. He's moving up the ladder there, and I think we spoke a couple weeks ago, and he said he was doing a good job and he was working hard, and I think that'll be great. And Zilla's got a crush on Cash Carter. We definitely know about that.
I
We
was
say hello to
about to
Kyle Shelby.
I was just
Well,
about to say.
yeah, well, and she's got a crush on a lot of people, but go crush a follow for Chase Wakefield on Instagram. Kyle said your brother Aaron Blaze. There you go. And thank you, Zilla, for saying hello to everybody that was here. Who else we got here? Oh shoot, hey Zilla girl, what's up? We know famously Cash had a Zilla armband on his shoulders there in one of his recent matches in ROVW. You know what it is all about? Zilla, the high rollers in the hizzy. Blaze will blaze right through. Yep, we're going to definitely talk
Right.
about some of that. My brother and fellow member of the greatest faction in natural selection, Cash Carter. Why was the natural selection locker room locked today? I brought us some beers. I'm going to leave that to those guys. Obviously, somebody does want to ask you a question about UWA, but I think the UWA situation's closed. Haven't seen them in a while, so I don't know what's that history there. But UWA doesn't exist, and that's been about 5 months. So we'll move on
Mhm.
to the next one, right? We can move on.
Yeah, and I know who that is, so it's all good.
Okay, well, we'll leave that at that. Let's put on a
Yeah.
trampoline next to a ring, next to a base, next to a promo wrestling stage. That pretty much covers all the gauntlets there. Thank you for that. Good evening. I want to say hello to my friend Ox McCoy.
Stuff
And
McCoy.
who else we got here? Jason Storm, who was a topic yesterday with James Taylor, the ROEW champion, a man that you do have history with in the ring. The underground champion, natural selections leader, and Sportswire's favorite son has arrived. And something tells me he'll be here Friday night for the birthday party of Mr. Darkron himself. And the champ is here, and the champ is also announced for the Riot in the Ring 2 in June, hosted by NEW. So there you go. Would you like to say anything to him or anything? Okay, we'll go to the next one. Jason, unlock our locker room. Something tells me that I don't know if Mr. Storm's going to do that, but hey, you never know. Natural selection is in the building. Alex Cross has been very impressive recently, and the guys are defending all of their championships, and we'll see how it all unfolds. Jacob Collins and Cash Carter, Alex Cross and Darkron. Darkron's singles return to the ring. That's going to be exciting. Also, Jason Storm and CJ Black, a match that is 2.5 years in the making. I am very excited to see that. I brought my natural selection shirt, Live, Laugh, Love for Life. Very clever hashtag. Good one. I don't know if the guys feel that way. Hello. Yep. Hello to the House of Wolves. Who else we got here in the chat? Hey, Kyle is the prophet. Okay. Let's give BTW a follow, though, in the meantime.
Yes, sir.
And we're doing well. Thank you, Zilla. We appreciate that. Comatose is here. Obviously, a sign of things maybe in BTW to come. Maybe that's a match we'll see, but he would like to say, oh boy. I'm not sure what the number 3 is referenced for, but maybe that's the BTW handle, but that's what Cash Carter would like to say. What is up with these 3-letter names? Laughing my ass off. In natural selection, hate you type of people, bums. Hello to Comatose. Yes, and definitely shout out to Comatose. I do, for a minute here, Comatose has a YouTube channel, which for whatever reason, his old YouTube channel got hacked here. I was really, really sad to hear that. We talked about that on the Tonight Show at Sportswire Radio in our second episode for that. So if you are here with Comatose and you're watching, you got a lot of people here in the chat. Give the guy a follow. He lost his YouTube channel. He had 600 plus subscribers. He's starting back over, but we will make sure we get him as close as we can to those 600 subscribers once again. So I put the link up in the description. Go out and hit the sub button for him. So there we go. Zilla, hold on. Not sure if Comatose's natural selection approved just yet. Yeah, I don't think he's yet an ROBW. I think he's got BTW to wrestle in, but hello to the Go to BYW fans. What the hell, Zilla? I thought we were king and queen. Who's Kyle Shelby? Well, he's here in the chat tonight. Open the damn door. Comatose and Cash do look a little bit alike. I think that there is a similarity there. I want to drink and prepare for gold and glory. Well, stay tuned. I think RTG is having fun. At least somebody is. Who else we have here? We have Ox McCoy. Thou, I fixed my problem. He is laughing. Guys, I am in natural selection. Open the door. Can hear both of you. That was early when we had some technical difficulties. Goated moment.
Yeah,
Yep.
we're so far behind on comment.
I know. Well, we're for 41 minutes. Well, I got 41 minutes.
It's okay.
Aaron, don't pick your nose. Well, my
I
dad.
did this.
It's okay. Headline, but well, we fixed the Wi-Fi issue. Budget cuts at YBW. No, I don't think that's not such a thing. Hello there to Jason Storm. Justin Parsley wants to say lots of jesters acting like kings and queens. Cute, I guess. Okay, well,
that's funny when he looks like he can be both.
Well, you know what? James Taylor compared him to the character in Terminator. That was an interesting name. Interesting. We'll leave that at that. Tell Jason to open the locker room door. I'm not sure if Jason Storm's doing any of that, but we'll see. Natural selection locker room is off limits, Kyle. You owe natural selection an apology. Okay. It's almost nonstop SFSFS. We're born to wrestle. I think he's talking about the scheduling. We shall see. Do I have to get jumped in? Yes. I'm in. We'll beat CJ Black. Natural selection to the moon. We're actually catching up now. We're getting closer. Aaron Blaze on Instagram. Give him a follow.
Thank you.
I'm sorry to Cash Carter. I didn't mean to offend you. Aaron is about to crash out. Fair warning. Not yet. No, not yet.
He said not yet. You know me so well.
Not yet. But this individual wanted to say teehee. I'm curious what the headline means. Well, it means that you're at the top of a story. It means you're at the top of any particular thing. So that's what that means.
I'm curious what trying to troll me because you have nothing else better to do with your time means.
Well, I'll leave that at that. We are trying to be as diplomatic as possible. Apologize to Cash. Say the name, Blaze.
What name?
I don't know. But you can't wrestle, but you can wrestle. You're born to wrestle. You're born to wrestle. We'll move on. Comatose.
You hide behind the count.
Comatose here had something to say. We'll leave that at that. Okay. Queso is a streamer, like a male version of Lizzo. That's certainly a thought I think most of us would.
Tom doesn't pay attention to mediocrity, so it's going to be hard to explain.
If it isn't ROEW, IMF, or NEW, it's not the big leagues. Well, no, I think BTW is there as well, but you're in BTW. The actual general point of that was the companies you haven't been to. I'm a die on that hill. Well, that's true. I have heard that this guy's almost broke someone's neck. I'm going to move on because I didn't break any necks, but we can go on. Fight me about it. The Duke has spoken. That's a lie. Completely untrue. Fake news. Whoever said that should be backlisted. Broken neck. Yeah, Cash Carter is also kind of confused at what this is. Well, then you haven't been paying attention to the last year if you think that BTW isn't one of those feds, and I definitely agree with you on that. Somebody here likes to play on words.
Harder.
School sounds a lot like the wrestling business. Yeah, school is an interesting thing. Reminds me when I took law in school, but it's not. Still a long way to go. We're going to certainly leave that at that. Don't worry, y'all. I'm here. I'm not sure. We have an interesting crowd here tonight. Interesting crowd. He's got the
Yeah.
gold. I got the guns, baby. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes. BTW is cool, but I think the guy needs a lot of training. He's kind of cringe, no believability. We'll go on. We'll go on.
See,
Definitely
Tom, and
no.
this is
Yeah.
exactly what I'm talking about.
But,
It's the people that make all these like fake accounts, and the funny thing is, I know who they are.
okay.
And so does Ethan. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I know who these people are.
Okay.
And it's like I said earlier, if you don't have the decency to come and talk to me about it, but you want to do all this childish shit, it speaks more volumes about you and not me because I'm not worried about it really. I feel bad for the people whose time it's wasting because it's wasting your time, it's wasting my time, it's wasting the time of the people that actually want to tune in and be entertained by something that actually matters. But everyone has their opinions and you're entitled to them. But once again, I don't need to hide behind a bunch of bot accounts because I'm afraid to actually say it with my chest from my own account. So if you want to be a coward, and there can't be no other way.
Well, let's move on to some more comments, but as I think there are some other people that do want to talk. But Comatose wanted to say, well, Blaze doesn't make BTW. If that's how you feel about it, that's one thing, but you can't deny reality. You are going to be in BTW, and that's going to take place in a few weeks. UWA doesn't exist. There's nothing to talk about. They don't exist. Let's move on. They don't exist. I mean, they don't exist. I don't know how you could go back or anybody could go back there, but I mean, you're going to be in BTW though, so I mean, you are going to be there in a few
I'm
weeks.
sorry. I'm trying not to laugh because it's just funny to me how they think this ruins my day, and once again, they're fans.
That's
So
okay.
thanks for the view. Thanks for the view. Much appreciated.
Let's move on here. When we die training, we work hard, we sweat, we're prepared to die. I train Spartans and gods. Good line. ROEW is sub on YouTube. Let's do that. He's scared. He is scared of natural selection. I don't blame him. That
I'm not
true?
scared. I'm not scared of natural selection because let me break it down like this. I'm not scared. How do I want to say this?
Okay.
I'm not scared of someone who wants to get even being Storm, which is fine. Cross who wants to be a leech, which is cool. Tag along, yeah. Participation trophy. Congratulations, you're finally part of the club. And I'm not scared of Mr. I'm going through an identity crisis. Because my brother was mean to me. But it wasn't like you couldn't defend yourself when you beat him on your way to become prestige champion, so I still don't get what you're kind of crying about, in a sense. So I'm not scared of Cash Carter. I'm not scared of Alex Cross, and I'm not scared of Jason Storm. I'm not scared of natural
Well, all
selection.
right. So let's talk about in the ring instead of the outside for a minute. He's got one. You've got nothing so far. Does that motivate you in ROEW to come back to even it out?
Oh, absolutely, because I'm. It does bother me that there's some people that have gotten wins over me, and I haven't gotten my get back for whatever reason, whether it was already filmed and just never came out, or just was never, excuse me, lined up to occur anyways. Hello. Sorry, my cat's like right by my leg.
That's okay. That's okay. Listen, we love our pets. I mean, I've actually rescued two,
Hi.
here in my community.
Hi,
Yes, I'm
baby.
known for a lot of things. But yeah, we can move on. We'll move on there. But no, I think that listen, there is a natural selection to see you maybe potentially tie things up with Cash Carter. But he's got right now Jacob Collins first. Thank you for the comment. We'll move on from that. Aaron Blaze versus Kyle Shelby.
Absolutely. I'm
Could
down
be.
for it.
All
Yeah.
right, there you go. Maybe an ROBW. Run that money match, Aaron. Okay. My team dominates. I'm happy that you accept my apology. Yep, I'm sure he does. We live, laugh, and love. I agree. Tell us really how you feel about the ROEW management, but you said you want to come back to ROEW, so I'm not following. You said you just want to come back.
Again, Tom, it's the people that want to just stir shit because they've got nothing else better to do. And like I said,
Okay.
I know who it is.
Okay.
And
Well, I mean,
if
as far as
I can
I
answer
know,
honestly,
my name is the
but
Reverend Tom Bryce, and I
I,
appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. But I mean, you just mentioned you would like to be back in ROEW, and it seems like you're having a conversation with some of the guys here in the chat.
Yeah.
Darkron wanted to say hello. He says
Oh,
hello.
Dark Chrono.
You step in the ring with me, and I will top you until you can't walk anymore. I don't know who this person is. I'm gonna leave that at. I think this is the fan from the IMF show a few weeks ago, so we'll leave that at that. James Taylor signed my brother, and I am livid. Yeah, what he said. I don't know what we're talking about here. I'm a little lost. Jason Storm wants Darkron to shut up. Kyle Shelby gives us an interesting comment.
Lord
Jason
Farquaad
Storm
is
wants
crazy.
Darkron to go to bed. I want to say hello to my friend Ultimate Gamer from our Backyard Wrestling
Hi, Ultimate
Nexus.
Gamer. Thank you.
And we want to say hello to our Nexus friends. Anthony Arias is back on Sportswire at the end of the month. We'll talk about FBW. Very excited about FBW and Nexus related comment. On a real shoot note, send Holden Holloway some positivity. He really needs it. He didn't get the news he was looking for on his shoulder. Absolutely. And
Dang. I
and,
didn't know
and
it was a
very,
shoulder injury.
very sorry to hear that. And my prayers and anything I could do, please. I'm happy to help anybody in any way, shape, or form here. And not just wrestling, but if there's anything I can do for anyone, please let me know. You can catch me on Instagram at the Sports Report 2021, Facebook at Sportswire Radio, and also message me at Tom Bryce at Facebook. If there's anything I can do, please let me know. What's up to everybody? How we doing here to our friends?
BSW, hello.
How we doing? Yep. Hello there. Yep. Happy birthday to Darkron. We'll celebrate him Friday. Well, we're going to get to a lot of stuff in YBW in a few minutes. The legendary Blade is here. The legendary Blade who's returned to the ring.
Blade.
How's it going? Yep. How you doing? Il Drago is in the house who wanted to say hello to everybody here. And he's saving something. He'll be here on Sunday's show. Any match Aaron has had was fire. Yep. Thank you for that, Kyle.
I kind of agree with that. And
I
the reason I
agree
say
with that.
I kind of agree with that. And the reason I say that is because again, I am my
You
toughest
should. It's your
critic.
match. It's your
Yeah.
wrestling.
Well,
You should
here's the
just-
thing. I don't want to say that every match of mine is God's greatest gift, pun not intended, to everything I do. You're gonna have crappy matches. You're gonna have
Sure.
crappy tapings. There's always gonna be something that doesn't go according to plan. And
That's life.
I'm my toughest critic, and I know what I can work on, and I know what I can do better. So there's no tougher critic to my craft than me. I'm not gonna say every match I had was fire, but there were a handful of stories that I have told that were great, and a lot of moments I've shared with a lot of great people that were just as equally phenomenal. It's just sad. I personally feel like a handful of them have been, I don't want to say shunned aside, but have been shifted into a different light because of certain things that have happened.
Well, you know what? That's like anything else in life, and
Yeah.
you got to go forward. There's no point in
Yeah.
dwelling in the past. He can't be sent to get a beer yet, meaning you. Well, that's okay.
I don't want to drink when I'm old enough.
I
even
don't
wanna
drink beer. Listen, maybe that's my problem. But we'll leave that at that. That's why I got a root canal a few years ago. But I'll probably
Really?
I'm on my way to another one probably. But that's okay. I can afford it though. But
Yeah.
I didn't want to look at the stock market today. I did take a loss, but we'll leave. But people would say, yeah, you should take more losses. My mother would love for me to take more losses so she could just recoup all the benefits. So that one, but that's okay. Maybe she'll recoup it one of these days. But
Oh, that's funny.
yep. Hello there. Hello there. Who else we got here? What's this emoji? But we'll leave it at that. James
Shaken.
Taylor has joined us, the ROEW owner, and he says that he wants to have a reason to resign you. Anything on that? I mean, everything okay there? Everything good with James? Everything doing good with you and James? Right? Is everything? I'm not following. Everything okay there?
Tom, I
Okay.
think from the conversations you and I have, you know the answer to that. Like
Well,
I said,
mean,
I'm
all
not.
right.
I'm not putting private business public.
Okay.
If
No,
he wants to do that, go ahead.
well, let's move on. Because I do want to talk YBW here soon. Soldier
Yeah.
GP gave the eyes, just eyes. He just gave just eyes. Just gave just eyes. Hello to James Taylor. I got some liquid you can drink. We'll leave that at that. Thank you for this individual.
Cam, shut up, dude.
It's Cameron. I don't know anybody named Cam, but hi to IMF.
God damn.
I think Jason Storm is obviously goading you to come back to ROEW. He said 20 companies means nothing. You've been to one that means anything.
Opinion is in the eyes of the beholder.
Well, maybe we'll see you and Jason Storm again in the ring. You've got some history.
Yep.
You have some history.
Yep.
You were a shark. Interesting. Omen Black, the IMF champion, comes in. Okay. Hello to
Yeah, and
Jason.
you're the size of one. Like, what the fuck?
Uh, Attending so many companies doesn't help your legacy. Well, you've obviously are going to attend some more, and I
Man,
think
switching accounts to insult me is crazy, guys. Just
uh,
saying.
Omen Black is here. It is his platform, and happy you have all opened your eyes to witness me arriving. Yes, we have. I mean, I see you here on the stream. Jason, natural selection will fall at Golden Glory from Darkron. There you go.
I'm looking
Uh,
forward to Golden Glory.
Obviously, we'll move on. I've attended 455 Diddy parties, and all I got was a plaque. That sounds like when you went bowling, if anybody bowled growing up, and they gave you basically the mandatory participation trophy. Hello there to Omen Black. Omen, your days are numbered, my brother, because Darkon and Omen Black are going to face off at Summer Bash. Okay, obviously, if he goes to any real place like an indie company, well, right now, let's move on here. Yeah, well, thanks, Omen.
This
I
is all I
appreciate.
hear. This is,
Yeah,
well, not even here, but this is all I see. It's just this.
3210. Okay, zero. Yeah, we got more comments. I well, we'll see what happens. I mean, I think that obviously I don't think that's the
Man, they
opinion.
just love, Tom, they just love outing themselves about who's really insulting me.
Drew Shelby's brother is here. Neat. Okay, I don't know what Drew Shelby has anything to do with that. Zilla, go back to crushing on Cam. Where is Cam, by the way?
Yeah, where's
Uh,
the kid?
Case, yeah, it's 4 months, 4+ months since he lost the title to Storm. Who else we got here?
Oh, well, you actually counted.
Um, Joe Stone's not here. That the last we saw him was he was technically here in a cameo appearance, but God's grandson Kyle Shelby. Kyle, come on now. Okay, boy. These guys are going back and forth. Zilla hates me and acts like I don't exist anymore. As soon as Jason came along, I got thrown in the trash like a used toy. Well, that's certainly some strong words. Zilla, it's okay, girl. I'll protect you. There you go. We do say hello to this individual. I
Oh,
don't know who this individual is.
my God.
If he shows up at IMF, it'll be a stormy day for him, and you're going to hear thunder. Well, I don't know if it's Jason
You're
Storm.
gonna hear thunder. You're gonna
Well,
hear lightning symbol, cloud, lightning
you
symbol.
love it over here, Zilla. He wouldn't make it a day in my locker room. Well, we don't know that. I mean, that obviously, I'd like to see you there. I mean, I'm a fan. I've said it live on Sportswire. I would like to see you wrestle anywhere you want to wrestle. But IMF would be a company I like to see you wrestle. And NEW, certainly TF Crew. I would love to see you wrestle in as many companies as you like to wrestle in. VTW, BCW Pro, LBYW, FBW, Wrestling Zero. I mean, there's a lot of great companies that I would love to see. Maybe Blizzard, maybe ALW. I would love to see you back in ROEW. I mean, there's a lot of great companies out there that I would most certainly love to see wrestle. Maybe back in BYCW, a lot of companies out there that I would love to see you wrestle. I have a crush on Zilla. Okay. Traveling doesn't always equate to talent. Well, I mean, we're gonna leave that at that. Thank you, Ox. We appreciate the comments. You can follow Aaron on Instagram. I'm the better manzilla. When's it gonna be my turn? Shelby, Mr. Duke of Detroit, soon to be king. Better king than whatever Oregon has. Well, you're going there, and I think that I'm excited to see BTW.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. We're gonna leave that at that. We have more comments. No comment. Zilla Cash Carter, that's dumb. That's I don't even know what we're talking about. Jack Delta has arrived. Zilla Delta. Jack Delta is
Finally,
in.
someone with common sense.
Well, Cash Carter, I think, has some common sense. I mean, natural selection. I mean, I think there go. I still don't know how the Zilla back and forth is going with Cash Carter. I'm still following that.
Yeah, there's a lot of different parts here.
Last night it was Justin Parsley and Zilla battling it. Now it's Cash Carter and Zilla battling it out. You've got the pick of the litter here. Yeah, thank you, Ox. Jack is crippled. Well, I'm going to leave it to Delta for that.
Hey now.
Obviously, we have somebody here commenting about UWA, and UWA doesn't exist, and that's I think for the betterment of the wrestling community, and we're going to leave that at that because we want to go forward. Can I get a hell yeah, James Taylor? Yeah.
Poorly timed, Delta. Poorly timed.
Yeah, there we go. Wondering while Kyle is ignoring me. I don't know. What's a UWA? Well, we'll leave that at that. Howdy, Jack. Hope all is well. Yes. Is that another? Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you could pretty much say that again. Oh, hell yeah, Delta. James Taylor is back. Thank God. The legendary nemesis, James Taylor, of course, the ROEW owner. And I would love to see you and James Taylor working together. I would love to see you back in
Mm.
ROW. And, I think a lot of people would love to see you in a lot of different companies. And I think that obviously we'll certainly see what happens and what the future might be. Who else we've got here?
Delta, I hate you. I hate you,
Pedophile
Delta.
Jr. Yep. We'll see. Delta throwing heat. Soldier and Delta have some history. So how's
Yeah.
the leg doing there? Judas is a chump. I hope you see this, Judas, because Judas and Darkron. Well, it's more
Yeah,
Judas
they
we
have
having it
hate
back and
towards
forth on
one another.
Instagram. Holden Holloway will always be a part of natural selection. He's welcomed back with open arms as soon as he's recovered. That's good. And I
Yeah.
would love to see Holden Holloway back. Mr. Delta, your contract does state that you have a rematch clause for your championship. So remember that. That could be CJ Black or Jason Storm. Zilla, will you marry me? We're going to leave that at that. Thank you. C Delta has a tail. What a fury. I had James Fury on Sportswire. What an honor it was to have James Fury onto Sportswire Radio. Of course, a man that was an extra, one of the biggest segments in
Oh,
MLW
sweet
this
God.
past year. And
Oh,
does
sweet
my
God.
contract say I can fire free? I don't know. Drew, Fury, yep. Don't fire your meal ticket. Fire free. Yeah, I'm not sure. I actually cut it off. I've been mentoring under Zach Gowan. We have a double missile drop kick together, and we equate the power of a regular drop kick. Okay, I did note that, and somebody talked to me about Zach Gowan the other day. But we'll
Oh,
see. You never know. Well, to quote James Taylor, never say never. Now
mm.
I've got two guys fighting over me. It's hard for me to choose. I have a crush more on Jack Delta or the ROW Prestige
Wait,
Champion Cash.
when did Delta become a part of this? I
She
thought this
said
was
she
a
had. Well, I know she's had a crush on Cash Carter
Oh,
for the longest time. I know that. That I definitely know.
sweet God.
Drew is not free, and Cash Carter is definitely a champion.
Yeah, yes.
Why aren't you responding to Queso Kyle? I expect all my roster to answer all fans' questions. That's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We'll leave that at that. You can say whatever you want. You have a right as an American citizen.
I
Delta
mean,
never lost the title.
you're half right, Tom. I can say whatever I want, but at the same time, the things I want to say aren't going to help the situation. So
Well,
I'd just
I
rather
tell you
not
what
comment.
will help. I agree with James. Golden Glory, I'm very excited about. I'm very excited about James Taylor returning to Texas Promo Wrestling against Nathaniel Rage. Happy birthday to Dakota. I remember that. I will get that sometime in the future. I'll hold you to that. What did Queso say? I must have didn't see that. Hold on. Good to know. Delta, quit lying to the gnome. You ain't never coming back ever. Well, I'm going to leave Mr. Delta to that. That's up to him and his God. Aaron is a carbon copy of myself. I believe Aaron has a future. Aaron has done more than anyone I can see since the GBYWN. You all don't understand how much money and time this kid puts in. Yes, and I agree with you. I think that you
Thank you.
have done a lot of great things, and I'm excited
Thank
to
you.
see whatever you do next. And I'm very excited to see what's ahead in YBW and also in BTW. So I
Yeah.
do agree with that. And I am very excited to see what's ahead for you and anything else you do in your future as a young man. I think the best is yet to come. I would make Aaron look strong. He would make me look strong. I think in numbers, I see it breaking 100,000 in 48 hours if we do it the right way. Okay,
I
well,
don't
I
have
appreciate.
that much confidence in myself, but I
Okay, well,
appreciate it nonetheless. I
confidence is
appreciate the
always key.
sentiment.
I do appreciate that 13,000 people viewed my clip on Facebook with Doug Pinnick of King's X. It was a
Aaron
great
Little
honor.
Flame. Okay.
We'll leave that at that. Money and views and gold, like my uncle in NWO, Scott Hall. God rest in peace. That's my motivation. History. I want to pop not just the fans, not just for the Indies or even WWE. I want to pop God. Okay. I want to see James Taylor versus the step on a staircase. Okay, well, James Taylor versus the first step on a staircase. That's a good one. If you
Um,
rolled your eyes any harder, they might fall out of your head. I'm not sure who's that directed to. Might have.
well,
Taylor, he don't want it, and I see neither do you. Always trying to find someone to fight me instead of fighting me. Yes, they do have a history. Kyle Shelby is the Duke of Glazing. Okay, we're gonna leave that at that. Zilla, we're gonna remember that. I'm sure.
um,
I am a king, the only real king in our industry. I am made for queens, not to be one. Yep, we're gonna leave that at that. Maybe you were thinking Kyle Shelby or question mark. You're gonna thank you for these comments. I
oh
appreciate it
my
very
God.
much. Yep. Let's see who else we got. You all can actually keep these titles. I want to be God. I almost first thought this was Marty Golden tuning in, my former employer, but not quite. I don't think this former senator would be up at 11:20, and he wouldn't want to see me, considering these days in Brooklyn politics, because I'm probably working
Mm.
against one of his, supported candidates. But let's leave that at that. Actually, nobody sees it as a waste of time because most of the people here actually want to tell you how they feel. Let's leave that at that. Let's leave that at that. That's my catchphrase. I remember you, Cameron McGovern. Well, Cameron McGovern's not in the riot in the ring. That's big
Yeah.
man Cam. Yeah. Thank you for that. Damn, brother, it's getting heated here. Yeah, it's definitely getting very heated. Thank you, Omen. It's getting very heated. Jake Dvorak is in the house. I want to say hello to
There's
Jake.
a difference between being mad and being
Well,
annoyed. I'm
Jake,
just annoyed and
I want to say
tired.
Jake will be back on Sportswire very soon. I'm looking forward to
Jake, we
his
love
match
Jake.
coming up with.
We
And we're
love
looking
Jake.
forward to Joe Starr is here Saturday night. I'm excited to see Joe. Joe's become one of my favorites. Okay, obviously Comatose says some opinions. Your name is Comatose, and I can. Okay, thank you. Stop being cryptic. I did enjoy the Megadeth album, Cryptic Writings.
I'm being
Oh,
cryptic. Yeah,
okay,
multiple
sure is.
accounts. Yes, sir.
We're actually almost done with the comments. I love liking it. Okay. Thank you. Jake, how's it going? Yes, thank you. It's going pretty damn good, Kron. How about you, sir? I would say so. And a match okay, obviously. Obviously, it's Monday night. What can I say?
Yeah.
Comatose. I am not your wife. Yes, I think. Thank you, Zilla, for letting us know. I am very happy to be in your presence, my friend. I hope all is well. Zilla and Shelby? Question mark. Yes. I will. Okay.
I'm
Like
still
you.
trying to
Who's your
process
crush? Yeah, I'm with
Zilla.
Magnum. Who's the crush
Yeah,
still? There's
I'm
so
still
many
trying to
crushes.
process
I need a
what's going on
scorecard.
with
Here we
Zilla.
go.
I'm
Okay. I'm gonna leave some of these comments out. Congrats, Jason Storm. Big fan of your work. Yeah, we're gonna leave that at that. That
I
company.
plead the
We're gonna
fifth.
plead the fifth. You keep bringing private drama to attention and sweep it under the rug. It's an annoying. Just spill it. I'm not sure what we're to, who, and what. Whoa. We're gonna leave. I'm gonna leave that because I want to talk YBW, and I know that you don't want to talk about that, so I understand that, and I want to say, somebody. Well, we got YBW. We got a lot of YBW coverage here coming up.
Yeah.
Kyle Shelby loves Anthony Steele. Good to hear. Give me what I want. He's a big fan of Anthony. Piss them off. We're gonna talk YBW
No,
here in a minute. On a
I'm not a
fair note,
fan.
most indie companies would eat alive a lot of yarders. They ate me alive my first day, and I didn't know anything about that. But you know what? That's like anything else. Do you actually watch IMF? If so, what about the All Wrestling Matters champion Soldier GP? Well, I mean, I would like to see you wrestle Soldier for the All Wrestling Matters
Actually, you know
championship.
what? No, I'll comment on this. I'll comment
That's a
on
good one.
this. I'll comment on this. I do try my best to watch everybody's stuff because Tom, you're
I
about
know
one
you
of
do.
very few people that actually knows my work schedule.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
No, I know you work. You have another
No,
job. You work very
I'm now
hard. You're
working
juggling
double shifts.
relationship. No, no,
I'm
no,
now
no. Listen.
working double shifts and it's dreadful, but it is what it is. Got to make the money.
It's life,
I
you know.
do try and keep up with everybody's stuff, and I don't say that it's the greatest thing in the world because I don't even think my stuff is the greatest in the world. I think it's great for what they're aiming for because everyone has a different preference, everyone has their own way of doing things, and that's good for them. But
Absolutely, absolutely.
right, but here's the inverse of that. Just because you do things a certain way doesn't mean you have to like how other people do things. Doesn't mean you're entitled to prop them up if it's something that you don't agree with or if you don't feel like you have to, in a sense, bring yourself down to that level. But at the same time, we all started a certain way. None of us really full on started with a ring and thousands of people watching us.
You
And
have
I
to
know
start
why certain
somewhere in
people
life.
look
No,
at
listen,
me
I
a different
started.
way.
Listen, I started years ago on Skype. Skype is ending on May 1st. Everybody starts somewhere. I always tell the story all the time when I was playing basketball as a kid. My father bought me a basketball, which was a big deal growing up in Brooklyn. We didn't have that much. Yes, I know now we've done pretty well, but he always asked me, "Are you dribbling the basketball?" It wasn't because I was going to play the NBA, but it was a matter of I needed to practice. I needed repetition. I had to learn. And those early days of just dribbling that double basketball, it said double on the basketball. I remember dribbling it on that pavement, that hot pavement down on 78th Street between 4th and 5th Avenue, and up and down the block with that basketball. It wasn't because I was going to make the NBA. It wasn't going to because I was going to be a college basketball player, but it was about repetition and practice. And everybody has to start somewhere. And there's no question that you're going to go to places you would like to go to. The IMF is doing a great job. The guys are
Right,
all here next Thursday, and I'm
good for
looking
them.
forward to it. Yep,
No, and
absolutely.
absolutely, and good for them. But honestly, it was one of the places I did want to go to. I
Okay.
will out myself here and say that I had a conversation with one of the people in management about
Yeah.
showing up to King of Palo, I think it
Hey,
was their
Palo.
most
Hey,
recent
Palo,
King of
yeah.
Palo. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing
No, no, no,
that.
it's okay. I Shane
And
kept pronouncing it wrong.
yeah,
It's all
and
good, man.
I did express interest in wanting to go down to IMF. I did. And it was just an issue with schedule conflicts because the week before celebrating my birthday, had to do some other things, whatever. And then I heard a lot of things from certain people. And honestly, without getting into specifics, it made me not want to go to IMF because why would I want to work with people that clearly, as a lot of their wrestlers just explained, don't respect me or even wish to work with me, and so on and so forth. I'm not gonna bring myself to their level with this whole drama thing that's not even drama because we're not in middle school, we're not in high school, and if you want to act like that, good for you. I care about doing business with people that respect me at the end of the day. It's not just about belts, it's not just about matches, it's about respect. And if you
Sure.
don't respect me, I don't have to work with you. I don't have to
Look
talk to
at you.
you,
You can
and
do what you
nor do
want.
you have to follow me. Yeah,
I'm a
because I can
fan
do
of
what
the
I want.
IMF, and I would love to see you there, but that's up to
No,
you and the
and
company. Yeah,
again, good for them and what they're doing. I'm not telling you don't watch their stuff. I'm not
sure.
telling you not to support them. I'm not telling
Sure.
you
No, no, I got that.
not
I got
to,
that. No,
yeah,
no, no, no. And I think,
because
look, yeah, I hear you. Listen, whatever it is, that's up to you and those companies. And I say this all the time to all the companies that come on here. We just want to give people an opportunity. We give people from all backgrounds that opportunity, and that's something that I take very seriously. And we have people again, Doug Pinnick to Maxwell Reeves has been here. That tells you the gauntlet of people that come on here. But
which they
look,
have been doing very well, by the
yes,
way.
I
Anyone's
really
championship wrestling.
Maxwell will definitely be back on. This month's not a good month for me in the
Yep,
afternoon.
they're on the road to I almost said Trampoline Mania, Trampomania 3. And as someone that like watched them from the beginning,
Yep.
because wrestling in Pennsylvania is so rare to a
Yeah.
sense,
Not many of you guys. Yeah.
I appreciate how it's come full circle to when they first started. I I'm pretty sure that the first one, it was Tsunami and Max for the world championship. Couple years down the block,
Yep.
it's the same thing, and I think it's pretty cool telling that story. So big ups to them. They're
Absolutely.
doing
No,
really
listen,
good.
and they've had a lot of success, and we really have appreciated having them on the platform. And I promise to bring them back on. And there's a lot of people. Like I said, Aries is coming back on, the
Yeah.
LBYW guys. So we appreciate all the people. Matsuda was here. Unfortunately, he had an injury to deal with. He was only here for a few minutes.
Oh, God
Chase
love them.
Wakefield says he looks like Jeffrey Dahmer. I'm going to move on about that. I'm going to definitely move on to that comment here. So Blaine, I
Justin.
forgot what's our. We're gonna get to. I want to get to that in a minute because I'm almost done with comments. I do want to talk about YBW, and
Mhm.
we're gonna get to that in a minute. We're gonna get to that. We appreciate your words, but Junior here is thinking you're one of us. Yeah, I don't know about that. Cash Carter is corrupted. I do agree with that.
Yeah.
What do you think about James Taylor? I mean, if you want to keep things private, then yeah, if you can
No,
go.
I can answer it. I can answer it. I think James is someone who, in a sense, did lay the foundation for backyard wrestling long before a handful of us were born. I do think there are a lot of people that kind of short side him and look at him a certain way because of who he portrays. And you can dictate that however you wish to dictate it. It's,
Sure.
again, it's all in perspective. James was, and I use the keyword was, because unlike a handful of people here, I'm going to be honest, was someone that I reached out and talked to and would look for advice. He gave me advice on having a trampoline when we first introduced it, and I appreciated the talks I had with him. Um, but recently, and I'm not gonna get into specifics because that should be between me and him.
Absolutely.
Uh, James has took a disliking to me, and he won't say it, but some of it apparently has to do with how I should be canceled and blackballed with what happened with the company I used to work for, and how I knew about it despite discrepancy, and how everyone was going to kick me out of the community, and all this other just backhanded stuff. Because for someone that believes so much in the community and actually wants to bring people up, it's kind of hilarious that behind closed doors you find the need to bring me down and, you know, insult the concept of my show and put words in my mouth that I said I'm the best thing in the world and I'm better than everyone else, and that I allegedly don't watch other people's stuff when that's clearly a lie. I just find it, Tom, and the funny thing is, I don't find those kind of things hurtful anymore.
Mhm.
I I literally shrug. And when I wake up in the morning, I look up and I say thank you. And you know who I'm thanking,
Yep.
because I've endured a lot. A lot of people have endured a lot, but I think positive and I think what's good for me
Yep. You
at the
gotta
end of the
go.
day.
You gotta go forward. Just in the past, it's the
Right.
past.
And
Every
if
day is a
you
good
and if
day.
listen, and if you want to hold on to things that ultimately I didn't do or you didn't know about, then that's on you, man. I'm not trying to carry hate for every single little thing cuz life's too short for that bullshit.
Yeah. No, I
And
agree.
you always
No,
have an
I agree.
option of just not talking to me and not trying to start shit with me. But yet there you've seen these comments. Some people don't want to do that. And
Yeah,
it's
look, I
just
mean, look, you
you're
know what?
actively
It's
proving me right.
obviously, look, I got it. I understand. There's going to be people that have their opinions. I'm here to talk about what you're doing, and we've
But
done
no,
that.
I
We'll
think
discuss it. Yep.
James is, when it comes down to it, I think he can be an influential, positive person in regards to pitching in when help is needed.
Mhm.
I don't, and this isn't even a diss, but from what we've seen, or the lack of how much we've seen him, he's not really someone that goes out there and does it for the people as much as I do, or as much as other people do, like Storm, like Dvorak, all these other great guys that are actually going out there. And I'm just saying this, if someone wants to just sit on the sidelines and talk shit, but you're not busy doing shit, then your opinion holds no weight to me and I don't care who you are.
All right, well, let's. I do want to get to YBW. Okay, Comatose and Kyle Shelby have some issues. Okay, yeah, we're some of it. Yeah, we're gonna certainly not repeat. We are a family station. My mother was watching the show, although knowing her, she probably wouldn't care. But who knows? Yep. Yes, just you are allowed to have a crush on Delta, Shelby, and anybody else. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Who else we got? Jake, big fan of your work. Okay, appreciate that. Okay, who else we got? Sportswire, you give IMF a follow. Thank you very much. Yep, we appreciate Jake tuning in. Yeah, we are going to talk wrestling in a few minutes.
What in the
I'm going through
blazes?
all the comments. We're going to get to the. We're going to get to.
Okay,
I promise. We're almost
that's a
there.
good
We're
one.
almost there. We're almost
That's a
there.
good one. That's a good one.
Okay, I got that. I'm gonna move on here. Tom, I will go to wherever you are at to play you one on one. I don't think anyone in the yard can beat. Yeah, I'm not playing basketball these days. I haven't played basketball in a while, so I'm gonna give you the victory. But yes, I did play basketball quite a bit for a long time, and then, I'm doing this right now. Okay. Mr. Badman can beat Comatose one on one in basketball and in the yard. Well, you never
Who's
know.
Mr. Badman? I've never
But,
heard that name before.
well, it's a name I believe from one of Mr. Comatose's new signees. Yes, YBW.
Wait, he has a promotion?
It's actually on the YouTube page, which I'm going to promote again at the end of the show. So he's
Oh,
got to,
okay.
yeah, we're working on some new things. The Eiffel Tower. Comatose needs to face Christian Archer. Yeah, face Christian
Is he
Archer
even
in
in the
basketball.
yard anymore?
That's a great question. I mean, you never, who knows? I'd like to know these things. I work in IMF. Okay, if we're just going to keep subliminally talking about a situation I'm involved in, we can just air it and solve it Okay. Let's move on. Anyone who wants the ones can get it. I don't know what we're going to. Who else we got? I highly appreciate that, but I will say, regardless if me and Aaron have a personal thing going on, we also have what quite possibly could be the feud of the year. There you go. Good stuff. Justin Abel Sane is in the house. Our friends in NEW.
Dustin.
Tyson Spade, who had maybe I think one of the feud of the years with Joe Starr, and these guys
Check
nearly flew at
out
the end of the year.
NEW's most recent event.
Yes, 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 yes. We've been talking. I
I
don't know what he's
sadly
been going
forget the
on.
name. I sadly forget the name. I don't know why I'm forgetting the name.
Well, Star Clash. You said what Star Clash
It was
7,
Star Clash. Okay,
and
okay.
there was
I don't know why I
Vortex
thought it was something else.
52. Vortex 52 was Saturday. 53 is this Saturday, and then the following week is the season finale 6. Just to let you know, but we're going to talk about that Saturday because Joe Starr is going to be here, so that's something you're going to definitely want to tune into here. Okay, here what we got here. James Taylor said, I only talk about facts you were given to me in proof of situations, and I've talked to you privately. Okay. If you want to talk one on one about it, then you know how to get. All right. So he said talk to him one on one. All right. That's
I
good.
did do that, and you went off on me,
Well,
and
he's
then
saying
I.
talk to him now. That's good. Talk to him off the air. Very
Okay.
happy about that. That's good. Good, good, good. Um, yeah, I want to know exactly what you've been told from IMF. I mean, you want to talk to Omen about that, maybe off the air, maybe IMF, whatever that is. So you obviously
At
whatever it
this
is.
point, everyone knows what my Instagram is, and if they want,
Okay.
they can have my phone number. I
I
don't
know
give a
you too,
shit.
Spade.
I,
That was a funny one here. Never say never comatose. That's wild, just curious. Well, who knows here.
yeah, who
King
knows?
Kings get dispatched and replaced during rebellions. Okay.
Interesting
Um,
quote.
so I don't do this for the people. Who's the people in your eyes? I've bent over backwards for this business. I've helped promote these people and companies. Well, you have said that he has done some promoting. You do appreciate that. So I know
I
that.
didn't say that you don't do this for the people at all. I said you don't really do it in the sense of wrestling much.
And James said that asking about his reputation, and he supports everybody 100%. I agree.
Okay, sure.
If we're airing out a
That's why you don't follow
situation,
me on
I vote for
Instagram.
a special guest referee that's impartial. That's Zilla. I could be available, but
The thing is, this is all gonna blow over in a couple days, so I'm not even gonna worry about it.
all
I'm
right,
not even
good.
worried about it now.
IMF is definitely a home away from home here, and we have the guys here next Thursday. Aaron Blaze, I apologize. I missed some of your guys' show.
Dude,
Been
it's
on a path.
okay.
I'm on. Yep, no, don't worry
Yeah,
about
yeah.
that.
You don't owe me an
I
apology
just
for
want
having a
everyone to
life.
okay. Thank you very much. Justin Parsley said Zilla can crush on whoever she wants, and I never said otherwise. Just stay late. Okay, so obviously, yeah, crushing news there, but it's time now to talk. YBW. It's finally time here to talk bloodthirsty. We're gonna put the match on here, and we're gonna talk about what's next here for you in the world of YBW because we are about to break out here into YBW network coverage here. So let's get to it here and talk about what we're seeing here in that
You should
triple
start
threat.
it from the promo package. No, I'm just kidding. No, but actually, the I'm very proud of the promo package that was made for the event because, like, I don't know why, but my favorite. Oh, never
I
mind. This
brought
was
it
my
here. How
favorite
about
thing that
this?
happened that night.
Boy, Dominic's going to be here to talk about this very soon on Sportswire, and then there you go, just showing why you're the headline. Just
Yeah, with just trying to work under below 20 degrees of
now, how are
weather.
you guys able to pull that off? I mean, to be able to work in these
Tom,
conditions.
honestly, we just truck through it. And it's just one of those things where you can't predict Mother Nature. And there's just no telling of like how the weather's going to look. Like it looks one way and then it looks another. Fun fact before this whole thing was taped, because we tape like 2, 3 months in advance. All of this was taped in December of last year.
Okay.
So there are a lot of things that were a little bit bad, and afterwards we had to discuss because there were some spots that were forgotten, but you're not. Oh, excuse me. You're not supposed to remember everything. I think I was supposed to hit an avalanche stomp, and he's actually no. Yeah, I was supposed to hit an avalanche stomp, and instead, I think he was going to set up for a midair Carter cutter like the first match, which never mind. That's after this Aaron cutter. But either way, it's just one of those things where we just love to wrestle, and
Sure.
we we can't get together every weekend because what people don't know is all of what we do. I live 2 hours away from the filming location. So I
Mm.
take a bus early in the morning so we can film stuff. And I stay for like 3, 4 days, and then we get done what we need to get done. And it's not easy in the slightest when you're trying to be like, okay, this event needs to happen, this event needs to happen, but we need build up. And then when certain people aren't there, but they show up the day after the fact for whatever reason, um, I have to adjust plans on the fly. And it's just one of those things where I'm like, well, we promised these people a show. Let's give them a fucking show,
And you guys
regardless.
got a following. It's been a long history in YBW, and we got the network, the website's on fire. We've got subscription through the roof. Viewership is at levels we haven't seen in a while, and the fans are they're eating it up right now. And
No,
obviously, you and Dominic have been battling though, and battling for months, but it's
yeah,
going to lead us here to what happens at the end of the match here very soon.
yeah,
And
I hate it. I hate it because it again was one of those moments where like, um, so close yet so far from a almost 4 year journey. It's a 3 year journey, and it's getting back to the world title. I know certain people would say, "Oh, give yourself a title." Blah 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 blah. I haven't done that in a long time, but I do feel like at this stage of my career, somehow it was meant for me to be like, all right, now's the time for me to be world champion, especially given certain things that have happened,
yeah,
and
it seemed to
it
be setting
didn't.
up at the end of the year, with the package between you and Dominic, that you were going to finally win the YBW championship back. But Dominic, time and time again, finds ways to retain the championship. And now, I mean, it ain't going to happen anytime soon.
No, that was my seventh chance at the title since losing it in 2021, and I kind of have an idea of what I want to do moving forward for YBW. Um, and it's cutting the dead weight of one of the problems that have occurred, and thankfully, I have Carter's help to
Well,
get
let's
that
talk
done.
about this alliance. You guys obviously have been in each other's way for a bit.
Yeah, do you want to cut to that moment? Do you want to cut to it?
Yep, I can do that.
Worst V trigger ever. I couldn't jump high enough to meet him halfway with it. I tried so freaking hard. But when you're wrestling for like 40 minutes, it's awful. But yeah, we're having a bit of a conversation at the end of that match, and it was clear to me that I kind of needed to swallow my hubris and just accept. I'm probably sure that's not the right word, but I got it from watching American Horror Story. I I binge watch all seasons on Amazon Prime. Don't judge me,
Nice,
but
nice. No, whatever you
it's my
want.
cup of tea. It's my cup of tea. Um, but right there, he says, "Now I have him, and we created the Golden Guns." And if you have taken a snapshot of my career with tag teams, it hasn't always
You've
gone
not
well.
really been a tag guy throughout your career. That's why this is kind of peculiar a bit, because Magnum is this up and coming star. You've certainly clashed with him words wise in the lead up to the world title match, the triple threat, your battles with Dominic. But now you've decided that the man himself, that who's certainly come on the scene here and has been very impressive. I mean, what this man has accomplished here in a matter of months, you've decided that it's time to align yourself and have a new partner.
Absolutely. And Carter is someone who, over a short time period, has gained my respect and
One of
has
the most
gained my
impressive
trust.
big men right now. He's an impressive big man, and he's been very
Oh, yeah.
impressive, Mr. 123. And it's always 123, something brand new when you see him here on the screen.
Dang, we're going to use that for a t shirt. I might have to.
Well, that was a Coolio song. 123 was something brand new. I mean, but that was I said
Oh,
that when he was here.
interesting.
Yeah, I said that when
Okay.
he was here. He was like he didn't know the reference, but obviously we got that. We got something here for the YBW network, and I mean, we're, I guess, bloodthirsty to see more of it and just see that, can you guys bond together to get to your common goal?
Absolutely. And I think, I don't know what's really in it for Carter. I I've been told it's just common respect because he's told me behind closed doors and publicly he has a
He
lot of
said it
respect
here.
for
He's about the
me bringing him
fans.
in.
He's doing this for his daughter. He wants to do
Hmm.
it the right way. He's not been happy with how Dominic has been representing YBW. He's not been happy with the likes of Oliver Blade. And he is somebody that wants to be a role model. He talked about here, and on TikTok, it got almost 1,000 views. He
That's
talked
awesome.
about the fact that he wants to be a role model. And maybe that's what he's doing this for.
Not only just that, and I think you can recall this, he also said that he lost 50 pounds since joining
He's lost a
YBW.
lot of weight. He's been training hard and he's
And
motivated.
yes,
He's had some different things he's went through in his life. He talked about them here, and he's here to do this for the right reasons.
yep, and I appreciate him a lot. And with how everything went, um, it's
And you know
kind of hard
Dominic's
to
going to be
never,
here soon to talk about his side of the story. You know
yeah,
Dominic
his
is
side.
is going to be here, and he is going to be crowing. He is going to be celebrating. I mean, Dominic is going to be in rare form like he's never been in here on Sportswire.
No, he will. He'll gloat about it, and me and Carter both have a goal to
Just what a
reshape
great
the
moment here.
show.
What a great moment seeing two men become allies. Two men become allies and showing that they can have a mutual respect. They can work together.
After
And
he
even,
hit me with a 1x1 light tube.
well, it shows you that this man is a role model. And and how about Texas Red here saying he supports Aaron Blaze? He supports what Aaron Blaze is doing, and yeah, he can support Sportswire. That's okay. I appreciate everybody supporting Sportswire. You know, Doug Pinnick did
Absolutely.
too, but you know, obviously, I mean, now this could be the person you've never had in your career.
Yep, and it sucks that I have to make this announcement with what transpired at Bloodthirsty because we are slowly approaching YBW coming back for, I don't know if it's the third or if it's the fourth, but Breakout King of the Yard. The
Yes,
Breakout King of the Yard tournament is coming in March. If you look at our website
I'm
and
going to
if
put
you
that
go
link up
to
here in a few minutes. Yep, let me get
upcoming events, then it will be the one that's next in line. It's currently being edited and produced.
I'm
The
putting the link
main,
up when well you keep
you're good,
talking. I'm going to
you're
put the
good.
link up. Yeah, go ahead.
Because Dominic pinned Magnum Carter in the triple threat, the main event of Breakout King of the Yard 2025 will be Dominic versus Magnum Carter
Yep.
for the YBW Breakouts Championship. And sadly, in addition to that, Dominic won't be defending the World Heavyweight Championship
He
because of
won't
this.
be. Nope.
He won't be. He won't be, but there's a strong but. I know who he's facing in April for Heroes and Villains. Heroes versus
Hmm.
Villains.
I can't wait.
And I know this person. Carter knows this person. And Dominic knows this
And
person.
Heroes vs. Villains will be taking place April 27th here for the audience. That'll take place April 27th. Breakout King of the Yard will be here in 20 days. You've got that. And you've also got some other stuff that you'll be seeing coming up here. Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Breakout in the Case 8. We've got Doomsday. We've got Heat Wave. So a lot of stuff here in the world of YBW. And you can go to the YBW website here for more details and get more information. So in case you're not here on Sportswire, you can go out there and website, get some merchandise, get all your upcoming show information, and find out when your YBW superstars, your favorite ones, whether it's
I
Dominic,
froze those
yes,
legs
Dominic,
well.
whether it's obviously a whole sorts of other
Thanks.
stars, but yeah, check it out here.
Yeah, I gotta fix those links and fix the mobile
Oh,
viewing, but
well, we did the best we could. We
it's
put the
all a
link.
process. It's
We
not
got the
easy
link
running a
up.
show
They
by
know where to
yourself.
go. We've showed it visually. They can find it also on the YBW Instagram page in the link tree.
Yeah, and another thing I don't understand, and this happened at work when I was trying to show on my coworkers, and it's happening on your computer. I don't know why it's not centered. Like the events aren't centered with the logo and
Yeah,
the
I see it.
top.
Yeah, it's to the
Like
left.
it,
Yeah.
I don't know why it keeps doing
Maybe
that.
you should. I mean, because I know you have Wix. I have GoDaddy for my website, but maybe you should talk to your customer support for your website. Maybe
Yeah,
they can help you.
yeah, I probably need to call them again, again. But yeah, so Carter will be defending the Breakouts title against Dominic in the main event. There will be the
But
I don't
Dominic
want to
could be
say
a double champion.
religious.
Are you ready for that? Could Dominic be a double champion? Dominic two belts? That must bother you. I mean, that bothers you probably more than some of the comments you've received.
Oh yeah, oh
That
yeah.
definitely bothers you.
Oh yeah, I'm
Bothers you
more
more than
livid at
that.
that
Absolutely.
possibility, but I don't have doubts in Magnum Carter. I'm staying out of this match.
Well,
I have my
Dominic's going to
own
be here to
reasons.
talk about this. He's got a lot to say, and he's going to get that opportunity next week. We're going to get him back here on Sportswire next week to discuss some of that. And, he's going to have a lot to say, I'm sure.
Yep, there's going to also be a four-man tournament, and the participants have been announced. If you go to the what page newsletter,
Yeah,
and
I'm
if you
doing that right
scroll
now.
down, um, damn it, Justin. Um, but yeah, where was I going with this? The winner of the four-man tournament will face the Breakouts champion in the opening match or one of the opening moments of Heroes versus Villains. So they will face either Dominic or Magnum
And
Carter.
that'll take place April 27th live on YouTube. So you'll be, I'm sure, doing that before then, but you can watch this April 27th, YBW 2018. That's the YBW YouTube page. Hit that sub button, watch your YBW, join the network, and it'll take place April 27th.
And I am also going to announce that Oliver Blade will be taking part, not in the tournament, but he will be taking part in the event. We haven't seen him in a
Ooh.
while, so Oliver will be taking part, and I will be watching.
And golden guns. Guns are ablazing, to quote Judas Priest from the album Painkiller. And these guys certainly look like they could be the next Brothers of Destruction. The Golden Guns, the legendary Aaron Blaze and Magnum Carter, one of the rising big men in the underground wrestling circuit, are together the YBW Breakouts champion Magnum Carter, who will be defending that championship against Dominic, the YBW champion, in a Breakouts championship match. That is going to be a match for the ages. You can go to YBW's YouTube page, the website here, Instagram, all of your favorite links here to get in touch with YBW. If you want to join the network, you want to get involved, buy some merchandise, you got so many ways to connect with YBW, and I can't wait to see. So you really think here that Magnum can beat Dominic, and Dominic can finally stop saying "Don't doubt Dominic"?
If, let me rephrase this. When Carter beats Dominic and throws him around like a rag doll, it's I'm gonna be cackling. I'm gonna be cackling. It's gonna be amazing, and it's we're getting close to the time of year of the summer, Tom, and that's another thing I
Yeah,
wanna.
you know what? Today here, I don't know what it was like by you, but in New York City, it was a beautiful day. It was 65
Oh,
degrees.
it's been great out. It's been so nice.
It's been a great day. Week's supposed to be nice the next couple of days, so we're getting closer to summer. Clocks are now forward. So yeah, summer's coming, and YBW is going to be at the center of it. We have Heat Wave again. We've got so many great shows ahead, and I know that the diehard YBW fan base and the fans here of Sportswire, we're all going to be tuned in here and very, very excited. And even, I mean, Rocky of Texas, from Texas Red from TPWs even said maybe you want to cross over to promo wrestling. Can you imagine maybe you and James Taylor in a promo wrestling match, or you and Anthony Steele in a promo wrestling match? I mean, that's where you could settle it all out, and that way everybody could just be happy, and it'll all be smoothed over. I mean, boy, what a gentleman
Yeah,
Rocky
that'd
is.
be great. And that way everyone could just state how they feel and talk about, oh, this is what I prefer, this is what I prefer, and everyone can go off and be like, yay, everyone can mind their own fucking business. Um which which in a perfect I wish we lived in a perfect world, Tom, because that should be how
Yeah.
people handle things, but it's not. I have been asked to do promo wrestling before, whether it's been by certain people that ran it or I don't want to say the word adjacent friends, maybe adjacent friends, I don't know.
Okay.
But I always just I feel like I talk I've talked enough and I'm now at this point in my life when I want to prove it and follow through.
Well, you got a
So,
lot of stuff ahead. I mean, tonight
yeah.
we spoke about a lot. Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational, BTW, ROEW. The door is definitely open for you to return there. We spoke
Mhm.
about some other companies that you might maybe be interested in the future. We spoke a lot about what's ahead here in YBW. We spoke about maybe different people that who knows, maybe we'll see you out there in a ring with, or maybe different people that maybe you'll settle some differences with. Promo wrestlers are here tonight to talk with you. We've got people from so many different places that have wanted to see you back here on Sportswire Radio. Magnum Carter, your tag team partner, who's been very lively, very supportive of you tonight. You've got a lot of people that want to see what's next for the headline, and they want to see what you're going to do. You also talked about Company 21 is coming, and we'll have to stay tuned when that'll take place. So, I mean, we spoke about a lot tonight. Like I said, Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational, you and D'Angelo the Flame, the Battle of the Flames, you might want to say. You spoke about, again, BTW. That's going to be airing in a few weeks. You spoke about company number 21 that's in the works. You spoke about other companies you might go to. You spoke about, let's say, some different wrestlers that are here in this chat. Promo wrestlers are here. And you spoke about undoubtedly what's next here in the world of YBW. But before we get to closing thoughts here, is there anything else you want to plug here, whether it's in YBW, whether it's in anything else here that you may want to plug?
Nothing I can really say that I haven't already said either tonight or in previous interviews with you, which I'm grateful that you allow me on this platform, by the
No,
way.
listen, you know what? I don't know. Listen, you are always welcome here. And people know that everybody gets a fair shake on you. Some people will say, well, but I believe in that. Listen, I know Rhino's been here, Savio Vega. I know Doug Pinnick of King's X has been here, but I try my best to be as fair as possible. And I believe in that. Promo wrestling, I'm a big believer in promo wrestling. I'm a big believer in trampoline wrestling. I'm a believer in what the guys in NEW are doing with the Riot in the Ring. I'm a big believer in IMF. I'm a believer in Summer Bash, BTW, REW. I'm a believer in as many things possible because I believe in giving people opportunities, and I support people, and I want everybody to get along. So, I hope that, you and James Taylor could be friends. I hope you and anybody else, whether it's Anthony Steele, whether it's Comatose, whether it's anybody that's here, Omen Black, I mean, whoever it is out here that isn't friends with you would like to be friends with you, because I'm all about friends.
And
I'm
if
all
and if
about
not,
support.
it doesn't bother me, and that's okay.
That's it. Listen, you know what? You got to move on. Listen, you got to listen. Today, I was out knocking on doors, and a guy wanted to beat me up in an apartment building because I rang the bell.
Jesus.
Unfortunately, that's what happens. And it was like, all right, man, okay. And the guy was like, it was just what it was, But that happens. You have to move on. I always equate it to like a baseball pitcher. You have a bad inning, you have to go out there and pitch the next inning and forget about it. That's what you're going to do. But I'm excited. We have a lot to talk about here in the world. First of all, before we get to closing thoughts here, this is the YBW website. Go out there and support YBW. Also, here, hit the sub button for YBW. I see a lot of people here tonight, a lot of people, and I want people to hit that sub button for me. YBW. I've put it up here. So if you can, go sub to YBW. We got so much to talk about here in YBW. I cannot wait. Aaron Blaze has been so gracious with his time. He's a busy man. And the fact that he's here, we've talked a lot. Again, I can't stress enough. I mean, we've talked about so many things here. It's going to be one that people will talk about for a long time here. And I thank everybody here that's tuned in with us. And and I love BTW. I love Tyson Spade, despite what happened with him and Joe Starr. I love Comatose. I love NEW, Jake Dvorak. I love Anthony Steele. I love James Taylor. I love Doug Pinnick. I love Savio Vega. I love Vinny Appice. I mean, I love as many people as I can because I'm a lover. Listen, I am a lover, not a fighter. So yeah, I'm gonna say it out there. My mother was here.
Yeah.
She would probably say I'm more of a fighter than a lover, but I'm a fighter over my bank account. Okay, maybe that's what I'm a fighter for.
You
But
have to be though, Tom. You have to be in that regard.
well, I am certainly a fighter for my wonderful community of Brooklyn and Staten Island. I mean, I'm they claim me in two places. I don't live in one. I live in two places. So many people. My friend Angela, I got to give her a shout out in Brooklyn. Just shared the link on X. Thank you so much, all my people. I can't thank people enough. Tuned in tonight. 3 people say I'm watching you tonight. Thank you for your support. And I love Magnum Card. Yep, we appreciate all the people out here. I can't stress you enough, but. Let's pass the baton to you because my throat is getting dry and I have to go out and knock on doors tomorrow and come back to Sportswire for Rain of Black.
God love you.
Yeah,
Wait, what are you knocking on doors for, if you don't mind me asking?
Actually, so my employer has a guy, Heshi Tischler, who's been here, and he is running for the city council because I am a commissioner of deeds. I am a notary public, and my specialty is getting politicians or prospective politicians on the ballot. I have a magic power. Well, the magic power is I'm a notary, but also the magic power is in real life. I have a lot of friends, which is probably I have 5,000 phone numbers, and which about 5,000 people are in my Rolodex. And these are basically people in his district that live there. I would say about 20% of them. So basically, I have a lot of votes in my pocket. Let's just put it that way. So this man might be a councilman, but we'll see. But let's let's focus on that for a different time. Let's focus on Aaron Blaze. Let's focus. Yeah, I'm for everyone. Thank you for that. I am for all the people, and I love Tyson Spade. He's in my Hall of Fame. Jake Dvorak's in my Hall of Fame, and you're in my Hall of Fame. And let's get you closing thoughts because my throat is dry, by the way. So I want to have a big gulp in a minute. So go ahead.
First of all, Jake just came up with a brilliant idea that some of us got to pitch in for. We got to create a Bryce Club T-shirt.
Now, you guys keep your money for your traveling trips. I can afford. I don't need it. I won't take anyone's money.
We got to make the logo and shit too.
You know what? I appreciate that, but I will let you have a club, but I'm not going to take a penny because I'm a nonprofit. But you got the floor.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for watching. It feels good being back on Sportswire and getting back in the swing of actually doing backyard and underground wrestling because I've been, pun intended, burnt out like a handful of us probably are, but it takes guts for what we do. And anyone that says that what we do is fake and unrealistic and doesn't matter is full of bullshit. And they need to try it for themselves to see just how fake it really is. And I've said it before, I'll say it again, and I hope it rains when I die when this.
Well, that's your Alice in Chains. What's your Alice in Chains reference for your entrance music? Get it?
No, but that used to be my theme song. Pay attention to the things I do, by the way, because I drop hints for everything. That's just me.
You do look a little bit like the new front man, a little bit. You're a little shorter, though, admittedly. You're a little shorter than
What's funny is you're not wrong, but
and Justin Abel saying also as Alice.
I think it's gonna rain. No, but I'm as real as it gets. Whether you do or don't like the things I have to say and the things I have to do, regardless of what you do and don't know. I'm all about being real and believing in things that I see and having something to believe in. I think all of us should be. And I quote Alice in Chains because when my grandfather passed away, it did rain when he died. And the sun was out that day. And I remember talking on the back porch with my folks at the time and all of that. And it's the reason why I still work the way I work is because you need something to believe in.
Absolutely.
So I always look at this. I always look at the positives. I clearly look at the negatives. And I look at this and I look at everything I've done and I just smile and I go about my day. And if you think you can ruin it, you can't. So keep trying, but guess what? It's not for you to judge. It's for people like Tom to judge. It's for people like the ones I have worked with recently to judge, the people that I'm still working with, going to work with, and the man upstairs. And if you're none of those people, your opinion means jack shit.
That's it. Yeah, God, you got to listen. God is always God is great. God is king, and God is in all of us. Well, if you want to believe that, that's fine too. But obviously, we're very happy to have you back. I can't wait to bring you
Thank you
back.
for having me back.
Well, listen, you're going to be back next month. We have BTW. I'm looking forward to
Oh,
talking
you're interviewing the
BTW.
whole cast of the season. That's
I'm gonna
funny.
try. Well, I mean, yeah, Steven Storm's internet, if it works, yeah. I mean, he'll come on if his internet
Buddy,
works.
mine's been no better tonight, so we
No,
can't
you
just
were
signal.
no Steven Storm's internet. Honestly, like it was like
It was
down.
okay. It was worse. I get what
His
you're
was
saying.
bad, man.
I don't
Yeah,
know what's going on with mine though, because like
yeah. I
I
don't
just don't
know.
know.
I don't know. But thank you for that. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the last comment from Magnum Carter, and thank you to everybody for tuning in. And again, we'll be here tomorrow with Raina Black. Raina is one of the most accomplished women's independent wrestlers in the state of Pennsylvania and in the Northeast. Very excited about that. I want to thank Eric Black for the opportunity, and also
That's
thank you,
awesome.
Comatose, and give Comatose a sub on his YouTube channel. He's got a video coming out tomorrow, and please support him, support all the companies that are here tonight, regardless. And this is Aaron Blaze. He is a part of companies such as YBW, BTW. Stay tuned next for his 21st company. And who knows what'll happen next? You'll also see him in the Chase Wakefield Wedding Invitational. And thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next month here.
God bless.
All right, that was the headline. Aaron Blaze, the farthest traveled wrestler in underground wrestling history, who gets ready to be in BTW here coming up here in a few weeks. He'll also be a part of YBW here. Stay tuned for more details on the YBW website for what's next. YBW also has a bunch of big shows which you need to tune in for. YBW also will have several upcoming shows this year. They'll also be what their next show is Breakout King of the Yard. That'll be in 20 days. Heroes vs. Villains is on the 27th of April. Also stay tuned for Aaron Blaze's 21st company. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively and literally, where all wrestling matters and all King's X matters. If you're here on Sportswire Radio, like, share, and follow us. Also support all the companies that are here tonight. And until then, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on the number one global radio station that is Sportswire Radio, where all wrestling matters. Thank you so much, everybody.